The following is a presentation of the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, and more in southwestern Connecticut.
Good afternoon and welcome to Cardinals Stadium here at Greenwich High School as the HAN Network gets set to bring you this afternoon's action between the Trinity Catholic Crusaders and the Greenwich Cardinals. I'm joined by John Kovac. John, how are you doing this afternoon?
Doing great. Getting a little warm, but beautiful day for football.
Absolutely perfect out. A couple clouds in the sky. There's a nice breeze coming through here, but it is a little bit warmer than expected. John, we get our first look at the new turf here at Cardinal Stadium. What's your first take?
Beautiful, and in walking on it before the game, it wasn't all that spongy, which kind of surprised me. A lot of times the new ones are very, very spongy. This one just had a real nice feel to it.
There are a lot of big storylines that follow today's game. We could go to last week where Greenwich needed all 48 minutes in order to beat West Hill. Trinity struggling against New Canaan. But let's start with an interesting one, and I think one you will appreciate. Richie Albanizio's return to Cardinal Stadium.
Just saw Richie. He looks happy, I think. I shook hands with him. I talked to him for a minute. Having been a guy who's coached someplace, not as a head coach, left and come back, it's always a very weird feeling.
The coach here at Greenwich for so long, bringing many championships home for the Cardinals. But there's also another homecoming today. It's Frank Alfano, who transferred from Greenwich to Trinity Catholic. What's Alfano's day going to be like?
He's going to have a target on him probably because you know those Greenwich kids are going to make him pay a little bit for leaving, let's say.
Probably will not be welcomed back with open arms like Albanizio may be. Obviously, this is the last game to be played in the FCIAC this weekend. Johnny Marinelli loving that 4 o'clock game on Saturday afternoons. We were live at New Canaan High School last night between the Ridgefield Tigers and the New Canaan Rams. John, we saw a really good one. I think we can safely say the Drew Pine era has officially begun at New Canaan.
It sounds that way. It sounds like that's where they're going to work. And if you can get a freshman and invest time in him and have him for 4 years, that's the route a lot of coaches will take.
And obviously life is so much easier for the freshman when you've got Ryan O'Connell standing next to you in the backfield. Another huge night for the seniors. He had 2 scores. His sophomore brother Quentin added 1. Another sophomore, J.R. Moore, added 2. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from last night. A huge part of this New Canaan defense this year as they fake the bubble, trying to go up top, throwing down the seam, caught by Palmer. Is he going to be caught? John Knight trying to chase him down. He will not get there in time. Touchdown, Tigers.
Either way.
Another empty formation, all 5 receivers running routes this time. He's got O'Connell on a wheel route, open, looking for him, makes the catch. Touchdown, New Canaan. New Canaan on the doorstep, though, looking to punch it in. They give inside. This time it's J.R. Moore, the sophomore, falling towards the end zone. Touchdown as the sophomore picks up his first career score, and the Rams take a 13-10 advantage. Braden at the bottom of your screen showing blitz. He tries to come off the edge. Pressure gets there. Hit! O'Hara just missed it, and Fowler is down after that one is big Jack Kircher.
He took a big blow there, and it's not looking good for Fowler right now. He is not moved since the hit.
Papadopoulos sets the tee. Gatos down for the hold. 4 on the clock. The snap, the hold, the kick. It's up, and it is good. Well done by the Tigers as they're able to collect 3 points and trim it down to a 1-point game. At the end of the first half,
Some success with it, not nearly as much as New Canaan.
3rd and 4, Pine looking left, steps up under pressure, fires to the end zone. He's got O'Connell. This time it's Quentin as the sophomores continue to strike for the Rams. And the give is inside to O'Connell, steps to his left, diving for the end zone, up and in, touchdown, New Canaan. Williams in there, takes a knee. And they can put a bow on this one as the Rams can run the clock out. The final score, 41-21. So, Johnny, obviously, New Canaan looking like its old self last night. They had over 500 yards of offense. Really, the defense has been the story through these first 2 weeks, though. 4 interceptions in their first 2 games. It's a scary defensive unit to have to face right now.
Anytime you can get the ball back in the hands of a quarterback like Drew Pine, you're going to do some damage. Kind of an odd place for New Canaan to be relying on the defense. We're used to a high-scoring offense like we may see here in Greenwich. But if you can shut them down, it works too.
And that's no disrespect to Chris Silvestri, who comes in to be the defensive coordinator. They've had some great defensive units at New Canaan. Of course, Joe Totola, the longtime defensive coordinator before him, so they know what they're doing.
I'm not saying they've had bad defensive units. They've had very, very good defensive units. But that wasn't what you thought of. Because while they were holding opponents to 13, everybody's eyes were looking at the 48 and the 52 and the 42.
And it's been a decade-long run of certainty at quarterback and all the big names, but looks like they might have found their next great Impine. John, why don't you tell us about what other action we had in the FCIAC last night?
Last night, in addition to New Canaan, you had Trumbull over Ludlow, 42-13. The Eagles with a 35-0 lead at the half there. West Hill, all over Bridgeport Central, 45-16. West Hill could be 2-0.
They should be 2-0 after what happened. You had Staples on top of Danbury, 36-7. Wilton moves to 2-0, 28-7 win over McMahon. And Norwalk, the big win over Fairfield Ward, 48-34.
Hearing that Ward, for all the preseason talk about them running the ball, threw the ball quite a bit. I just talked to one of the Norwalk coaches in the crowd.
And they're struggling right now, moving to 0-2. We'll have updates on the Stanford-Darien game that kicked off at 1:30. We'll take a quick break, Johnny, but when we get back, we'll take a look at the action we'll see here today between Trinity and Greenwich, and we will also be joined by a special guest. Make sure you stay tuned right here on the HAN Network.
Connecticut is coming back to hometown banking, to a partner that makes small businesses feel big, where community comes first, where high-tech tools go hand in hand with a human touch, where you get the know-how only neighbors can deliver, where saving time is important too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
I'm a filthy rich executive. I hear the market's down 1,000,000 points. I freak out. I spill my large espresso. The searing pain makes me slam on the brakes. Uh-oh, your fault. And your cut rate insurance may not cover my $90,000 car, so I sue you, because that's what I do. So get Allstate. You can save money and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Visit your local Allstate agent, Nick Montanero, at 6528 Main Street in Trumbull for a personalized quote.
As you're getting back to your regular schedules, we're excited to get back to doing what we do best. Offering you the freshest seasonal fare and all the ingredients for a healthy start to school. So shop Walter Stewart's for everything fresh, from A, apples to Z, zucchini, and from cotton candy grapes to back to nature all-natural snack bags. We save you time by stocking all of your favorite back-to-school essentials under one roof. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
You're watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. More than 1.5 million viewers have watched our live sports, news, and entertainment broadcasting since the network launched in August 2015. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Welcome back to the HAN Network. We have partnered up with Make-A-Wish Connecticut to be joined by our next guest in studio. He's future Make-A-Wish. He's a future Make-A-Wisher here. He's Ben McFadden. Ben, how are you doing today, buddy? We're glad to have you here.
I'm doing good.
Well, Ben, we had you on the field earlier this afternoon. You got to talk with the Greenwich Cardinals captains. What was that like for you?
It was really fun.
Well, we're going to show the fans at home what that interview looked like right now, and then we come back, we want to hear what you have to say.
Okay.
We're here at Cardinals Stadium where the HAN Network has partnered up with Make-A-Wish Connecticut, and we brought Ben McFadden down to Cardinal Stadium today to meet the Greenwich football captains. But Ben, before we get to that, and we know you got some questions for them, I understand you're a big Seahawks fan. Who's your favorite player on Seattle?
Richard Sherman.
And you like the cornerbacks. I like that. That's a good question there. But I understand you've got some questions for our captains, Ben. I'll let you ask those right now to the boys.
Okay. How do you like the new coach and his systems?
We love Coach Marinelli and the new system. He's really funny, and he I don't know, he lets us have fun and do hard work at the same time. It's fun.
How is the team feeling going into today's game against Stanford Catholic?
Oh, we're doing pretty great right now. We're really pumped up for it, and we're ready to fly.
Did the team have a good week of practice?
We had one of our best weeks of practice. I think we're all ready, really fired up for this game, and ready to get out there and showcase what we can do.
How does the team like the new field?
The new turf's really nice. We've only practiced on it a few times, and we're really excited today to play our first game on it.
Thank you.
Ben, that was pretty good. We're going to bring you back up during halftime, and I'm really excited to see your in-game analysis and how the Cardinals do in the first half. So we look forward to seeing you again. Gentlemen, thank you so much for coming and meeting with us today. We wish you the best of luck. We'll see you on the field soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job.
Again, that was Ben McFadden and the Greenwich Cardinals captains. Ben, some really good questions there. I like how he put Johnny on the spot.
You got to ask the tough questions. Ben wasting no time going right for the home run question. Satisfied with the answer?
What do you think, Ben? Did they give you a good answer about Coach Marinelli?
Answers?
Yes, they did.
All right, but now for the moment of truth. Who's going to win today's game, Ben, and why?
We don't have headgear for him?
I think the Cardinals are going to win by 21-14.
It's a good score. It'll be close to what we saw last week. Ben, we want to thank you again for coming on with us. We're going to see you at halftime and hear what you have to say about the game.
Okay.
Make sure you stay tuned right here to our pregame show. John and I will be back after this, and we'll break down today's matchup between the Crusaders and the Cardinals.
Have a sports injury or a slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, scapchryslerjeep.com or scapdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands right now during the Jeep Celebration event and Ram Power Days. Now through September 30th.
Welcome back to today's pregame show as we get set for our matchup between Trinity Catholic and Greenwich. John, the Cardinals making their way up from the locker room, getting ready to run onto the field now.
It's a long walk. I've coached here, but that entrance for the home team, one of the more impressive that I've seen. To come up that serpentine walkway, you come out of the forest, and all of a sudden there's a sea of red coming at you. A little bit of intimidation in there.
It is, and it's so cool for those players, too. You're mobbed by all the fans lining up the pathway. A new tradition that we've seen here under Coach Marinelli. Greenwich, a huge fan of warming up down on their lower turf fields. They leave the specialists up here so that the opposing team doesn't have the whole field to work with, but they don't like to be in the stadium, warm up on their own.
Yeah, let's just go out on a limb. That's about letting the opposing team wonder what they're working on.
Exactly.
Because we all watch each other warm up.
So here they come now, running onto the field, and the Cardinals back to the normal decals. The red jerseys on the white. It's a clean look. They look great today. If there's an X-Factor player for the Cardinals today, who's it going to be, John?
Boy, it could be anybody coming out of that game last week. What are your thoughts?
Well, Connor Langen, to me, probably has got to have the biggest turnaround game. He was 17 of 33, and it was a lot of incompletions on overthrown balls to open receivers.
And he's better than a 50% passer, so let's see where he can get. I think it behooves Trinity to keep the ball out of his hand and not give him that opportunity.
When you think about Trinity last week, their only scoring drive against New Canaan was 9 minutes long in the third quarter. Really, especially a team like a Greenwich or a New Canaan, this up-tempo, they want to go, 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 go. When you have a Trinity team that can now put up a 9-minute drive and keep your offense at bay, it's a major advantage, and it really messes with that tempo and timing for the opposite team.
It absolutely can. If you've got a team that's faster than you, let them sit on the bench. Get the ball moving 3 yards a clip, 4 yards a clip.
Alfano will obviously be a big player for Trinity, and he'll have the emotions of coming back and playing at Cardinal Stadium. But I really want to have my eyes today on JJ Bavona. He is going to be the X-Factor player to me.
Absolutely. We want to see what he'll be able to do. Can he get the ball moving?
It should be a good one. Again, we should talk about how Greenwich last week against West Hill had to score in the final minute of the game, and it was off a controversial penalty call. There are some doubters against the Cardinals right now.
There really are, and I think we look to John Marinelli to try to erase those right off the bat. Do you think he goes for the quick score, goes to get up 2 or 3 scores in the first quarter and say, see, it is working, or does he stay patient?
I think that we'll see Johnny really try to get Tyler Ferris involved for the Cardinals. He'll be my X Factor today. Ferris, probably the fastest receiver in the entire state.
He is very quick. He is very dangerous. He can make you look really slow.
Only 1 catch last weekend, and I think they try to get him a couple screens early on, maybe those slant routes off the RPO, but you get him involved, and it'll open up your run game for Kevin Iobi, who could be poised to have a big day.
And the RPO whole concept will open up the run game. You've got to make a choice as a defender. Am I playing the run? Am I playing the pass? Which way is it going to go?
And, of course, if Greenwich does get up early, what do we see from Trinity now, who will be forced to play catch-up? And they're an offense that they've opened up the passing game a little bit the past few years, but they still want to run the rock as much as they can.
They can open it up. They can throw the ball deep. Do they want to? It's a matter of comfort. Are they comfortable doing it?
Trinity at risk of really being in jeopardy of missing the playoffs. Is this a must-win game only here in week 2?
It's early to say that.
Obviously, Greenwich sitting at 1-0. There's a little less pressure on them because they have games against Darien, against New Canaan, Trumbull, and Staples left, but this is probably a game they expect to win and can't afford to lose.
They expect to win at Trinity, one of your smaller schools. They're Class S, I believe, in the new realignment.
That's correct.
A Class S school with 2 losses routinely can get into the playoffs.
And so Johnny Marinelli not taking a page out of his father's playbook. He'll win the toss and elect to receive. Most coaches like to defer, but it appears they want to take the ball and set the tone. Let's step aside here, John. We'll take a quick break, but when we get back, we'll have kickoff and action from today's game between Trinity and Greenwich here on the HAN Network.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Recently renovated and home to one of Connecticut's largest indoor turf fields, InSports is a multi-sport recreation center providing state-of-the-art facilities for league play, camps, and youth programs. Players have access to soccer, lacrosse, football, baseball and softball, field hockey, rugby, basketball, volleyball, and social game facilities. InSports has also launched an early childhood development program, a daycare and pre-K program all rolled into one. Don't miss out on the fun. Find out more at insportscenters.com or call 203-268-1214. Like and follow us on Facebook.
Hi, this is Leo Carl from Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan, and you've heard me talk about the Chevy Volt for years. The new model gets 53 miles on EV charge daily, plus 420-mile full range. But don't take my word for it. You need to come in and test drive the Volt yourself. Visit us at 261 Elm Street in New Canaan or online at carldirect.com.
At Mex on Main, Trumbull's very own Mexican grill, we're all about fresh, fast, and friendly service. Our Main Street restaurant offers the best in traditional and non-traditional Mexican dishes, with only the best ingredients, never frozen. From authentic burritos, fajitas, quesadillas, and salads, we have something on the menu for everyone in the family. And enjoy our open salsa bar, giving you more ways to customize your meal. Stop in for lunch or dinner at 6528 Main Street, Trumbull, or find out more at mexonmain.com.
I really wanted something that felt like a home. Coming from a big house, I wanted the feel of a home as opposed to a condo. New Canaan is 6 minutes down the road. New Canaan's a beautiful little town to walk around. I work in Westport. My commute is 20 minutes. It's close to Westchester, where my family is, so the location is ideal. There is no other townhome that compares in the area. This is where I want to be.
I'm Frank Granito.
And I'm Donald Ing for the HAN Network.
Tune in to Nutmeg Sports Monday through Thursday, where we bring you all the top stories from Connecticut sports.
From highlights to player interviews and expert analysis, no one gets you closer to Connecticut's games than Nutmeg Sports.
Nutmeg Sports, now Monday through Thursday at 2 p.m. on the HAN Network.
You're watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. More than 1.5 million viewers have watched our live sports, news, and entertainment broadcasting since the network launched in August 2015. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
So welcome back to the HAN Network. As we can see, the Crusaders taking the field, getting set to kick off. And the Cardinals getting ready to receive. Trinity Catholic wearing the white on yellow with the yellow helmets. It is red on white for Greenwich.
A tame Greenwich uniform.
It's nice. It's simple. They go
like
back.
it.
I tell you what, though, they had the American flag decals on the helmet last week, which I thought looked really good on top of the white helmet, John.
Yeah, the photos I saw that were very, very cool.
David Brancotti will be the kicker for the Crusaders. Deep to receive, it will be Kevin Iobi and Tyler Ferris for Greenwich. John, who do you like in this one?
I like Greenwich because I think they have a point to prove. And I think they'll find a way to break a big play when they need to, if it's that 21-14 that Ben predicted.
And you know what? And I really think that in front of the home crowd, the Cardinal crazy's out. They're going to be loud. It's a great atmosphere here today. Perfect day for football. I think they ride off that emotion and are able to pull one out. But this is a very dangerous Trinity team as we get set for the kickoff, and Brancotti's kick, a low line drive. Iobi feeling off a bounce, working to his left side, splits through a couple of defenders, wrapped up and brought down by John Michael Bavona right around the 23-yard line. And Dominic Sverchek. Bavona, a name we are going to hear a lot today for the Cardinals, or excuse me, for the Crusaders, John.
You are going to hear that a lot. Good coverage there. They're skipping the kick in. I think they don't want to give anything to return to those dangerous deep men for Greenwich.
A lot of speed back there. So it's Langen, the quarterback for the Cardinals. Iobi joins him in the backfield. First play is a give to Iobi. Hits the hole hard. Stood up and wrestled down by Bavona. Not before he's able to pick up the first down. And they'll quickly go from the no huddle, getting ready to roll.
And you don't have to go no huddle in this spread. You want to control the tempo. Right now, they want to run it right down the Crusaders' throat as fast as they can.
Motioning across is Matt Morganti as they give again inside to Iobi, hitting through the hole. Circles around and wrestled down by Timothy Val, a senior defensive end, big number 79. He is a captain for this Crusaders team. 2nd and 4 coming up.
A lot of size tackle to tackle on that Greenwich offensive line, and it's making itself felt early on.
First drop back pass here from Langen finds Iobi in the flat. Makes a couple of men miss. Continuing to drag defenders and finally wrestled down by Mikey Riddle.
Now you keep them honest. They start to pack the box. You throw out to the flat. One thing I did like there, Trinity, 7 guys in on that tackle. Get guys to the football.
So 1st and 10 from the 48-yard line.
2 in the backfield for the first time.
Here comes a motion. It's an option read off that one, and the give, moving to their left, is to Tyson Camizio. Excuse me.
Tyson Camizio with the
And he is wrestled down there by Sverchek, who blew that one up in the backfield.
You think that was an option? You think that was a true counter?
I think it might have been a little bit of a triple option read. You had the pitch coming back the opposite way in Iobi off that motion. So the first negative play for the Cardinals, 2nd and 16 now approaching. Langen barking out signals. Iobi looking for a sign here.
They need the signals again.
No play clocks here at Cardinal Stadium, so they work off referee signals.
Hand is up on the back, Judge. They're inside 5.
Just getting it off. Langen dropping back. Flush from the pocket, working to his left. Cross the hash, working towards the middle, and wrestled down. Good job picking back up almost all of what they needed. It'll be 3rd and 2 now on the Langen scramble.
There's your spread.
10.
Sorry, Frank. There's your spread working vertically. The DBs all chased the vertical routes and opened it up for the quarterback.
Almost works out like a quarterback draw. Good coverage, though, from the Crusaders early on. The only pass completion was a flare to Iobi. For the first time, we see the jumbo package for Greenwich. The give, and a little trickery here, throwing back. Langen was open, and just missing him was Cole Hartley.
16 Cole Hartley.
I like that.
That was a nice play.
I like that. I did not see that coming.
I thought it was a great change of pace there. You come back for your jumbo package. Everyone anticipating they're going to try to pound it up for 2 yards. Little trickery on the throwback. Iobi running that wheel.
4th and 3 now for the Cardinals.
Langen and Iobi in the backfield. 2-by-2 set. Trying to draw him offside. Trinity not biting. The give inside. Iobi has got very close to the first. Good job in the hole. That was Alfano stepping up to make the stop as he met Iobi in the hole. We'll see if they give it to the Cardinals.
The Trinity bench doesn't think they got it, and it's been awarded to Trinity Catholic. I've got a good view here and could see the spot coming in from the far side, clearly short of the stick.
And it looked like an accurate spot. Credit Alfano stepping up from the back and meeting Iobi in the hole, and he delivered the blow.
That's a fill. That is how you fill a hole if you're a linebacker.
So an aggressive decision from Coach Marinelli to go for it on 4th down after the trick play on 3rd. They'll gain about 60 yards on the drive, John, but come up empty-handed as we get to see the Crusader offense for the first time today. Expect a lot of tight ends and 2 backs in the backfield with a true fullback.
I was watching some film from last year earlier today, also noticed, and I'm looking to see if they carry it over this year. A lot of tight end trips.
Yep.
A lot more than you usually see.
And you'll see trio, which is a closed tight end trips as well. First down and the give to Bavona. He is met immediately. Wrapping him up and bringing him down in the backfield there was Peter Ryan, the senior defensive end, 6'3", 240. Quarterback for the Crusaders is the senior captain, Nick Granata. He was the backup last season. Expected to do big things with this Crusader offense as the leader now. 2nd and about maybe a long 9, still 10. Again, the give to, this time it was Nick Melia who came in to spell.
Kind of an offset eye look, and where that fullback was lined up almost as a wing, he went straight down the line looking for somebody to kick. Nobody ever came. He's got to turn that up.
For the Crusaders.
T-shirt gun is out from the Booster Club. Came about 5 rows short of us.
I didn't know what was going on. I was starting to fear for my own safety here.
So 3rd and 5 coming up. Granada in the gun. The give again inside, carried by Melia. And he is able to power forward and pick up the first down.
He lost it briefly and recovered his own fumble. Great job by Granada carrying out the counter fake on that. So we'll see a counter at some point with the way that misdirection was working.
So after the 2 runs, Melia back to the bench, and Coming back in is Bavona. They'll see a heavy dose of both from the backfield today. The receivers are John Patrizzi, and it's Mikey Riddle, as well as Alfano, who will be in the mix. In the gun, Bavona in motion. It's a jet sweep as he tries to get to the outside. Escapes a couple of tacklers and run out of bounds. John, that's that new type of jet sweep we're seeing amongst offenses where you don't hand it off, instead you pitch it forward. That way any kind of miscommunication or drop, it's an incomplete pass.
It's very, as tricky as it can be, as dangerous as it can be. By rendering that an incomplete pass, you're really saving yourself a lot of
It's actually
worry.
a much safer play.
But a hard run, and that's he might have taken that a little far outside. He might have looked to plant and get north-south a little quicker. But a good hard run nonetheless.
Good hard run, and he picks up a first down with it. Back under center. The give to Bavona. Jump cut to his left. Wrapped up and wrestled down.
I'm not sure that he was not supposed to follow the fullback on that. They went opposite ways, and I'm not sure that's how it's drawn up.
That was Sam Calandro who blew that one up in the backfield, the senior. Lost the helmet as well, so he's got to come out for at least one play here. Bavona will also have to do the same as he is helmetless on the opposite sideline.
Yeah, it's the first double I've seen since this rule went into effect last year.
6:50 to go in the first, 0-0 the score. Back under center, Granada. It's the third running back we've seen take a carry this time. I think it might have been Justin Green.
18. Jonah Dubin with the carry.
Tough to read that jersey.
Either way, picks up about 2 yards back from the original loss of 3. So you've got 3rd and 11 now approaching. Granada in the gun.
You're in kind of no man's land here, too, where you really have a decision whether you punt or go for it on 4th.
5 yards, you got to figure they'll go for it on 4th. They hit the out route along the sideline. Wrestled down, falling forward. And that catch made by Gonzalez. Now you're probably in your range of being able to go for it on 4th down.
Yeah, you're 4th and looks like almost exactly, about a little short 5 there. And they are going to go for it.
The offense stays in the huddle as Granada comes out with a play.
It's where you watch the count.
Yeah, we saw Greenwich attempt to do it. See if they come back with it as the student section starts to come to life a little bit. Patrizzi alone at the top of the screen. Riddle alone at the bottom. Granada in the gun. They bring Bavona in motion. Jet sweep to the left side. Trying to gain the corner. Cuts inside. And he drags a couple of Cardinal players as he makes his way to the 30-yard line. Plenty, though, for a Crusader first down.
Stop by Jeremiah Harris.
Yeah, I wondered. And they've moved the chains already, so they can't. I guess I didn't think it was that clear.
He had gotten it by about 5 yards there, actually. It was tough to tell down here where he finally was wrestled down by Jeremiah Green. Ball on the 29. 5:30 to go. Crusaders about the 3rd minute of their drive so far. Opening drive for them. Give inside to Bavona. Bouncing back and forth. Finally wrestled down from behind. And making the tackle there was Ben Kraninger, senior linebacker. You'll also notice the senior captain linebacker, Mike Cece, wearing that club on the right hand. Suffered a fracture back in week 1 against West Hill. Nothing like seeing the defensive players throw the club on, John.
There you go.
2nd and 9 coming up. Crusaders doing exactly what they want to right now. Shift the formation. Tight end and a sniffer on the right side. They come back left to Malia. He falls forward for a gain of about 3. 3rd and 6 coming up.
Kraninger and Aziz with the stop. Brings up 3rd. 3rd down for the Crusaders.
Seeing lots of personnel changes here early on for Trinity. Arthur Yamviv has checked in. tight end. So we're looking at what could be 22 or 21 personnel right now, John. It is 22 with the 2 tight ends and 2 backs. 3rd and 6. Give to the right side and stopped immediately at the line of scrimmage was Justin Green.
They're looking to run power at the edge, but nobody's coming up to get kicked out by the fullback, and thus Greenwich is able to shut this down. They know it's coming. It's almost like they're slow playing the corner a little bit.
And you have to think they're trying to slow play it, especially early on here. You've had some success. You're deep in the territory. You're really setting up that waggle or that power pass off of it.
Right.
So 4th and 6. They are 1 for 1 already today on 4th downs. Malia in the backfield with Granada in the gun. Looking to his right. Going to throw the comeback just off the fingertips of Gonzalez as the Crusaders are unable to convert. So they drive back down the field themselves, coming up empty-handed. And here come the Cardinals for their 2nd series of the afternoon.
But they chewed 4 or 5 minutes off the clock. They kept the Greenwich offense off the field.
And it's a confidence-building drive, John. You really got your offense going. You saw some good things. There are a couple of run plays that are going to get stopped. No one is going to gain 3-4 yards every time on the ground.
No, if it was easy, everybody could do it. What you need here is a stop to flip field position.
Try and force a punt, really keep this Greenwich offense at bay. As the give inside, Iobi dances through the line, heading up towards the 30-yard line, and he crosses over for a gain of about 6. We'll call it 7, bringing up 2nd and 3.
I'm watching this, Frank, and I'm racking my brains trying to figure out just how Greenwich is so dominant inside. It's the runners for Greenwich are at the 2nd level before they see anybody in a white shirt.
Iobi has done a very good job finding those holes inside as they go back to the A-gap again. Steps over one tackler, makes his way to the next level before being dragged down from behind by Timothy Val at the 40. But it is enough for a 1st down for Greenwich. Sverchek also in on the tackle. And it's a good point. It's that run game inside in between the guards and right behind the center in the A and B gaps.
And they're just gutting them in there.
Langen scrambling around looking for help. Now throws it across and he finds Ferris. Ferris to the sideline, steps around one man and now turns on the Jets. Ferris to the 20, the 10, 5, touchdown Cardinals.
There's a flag a mile behind the play, but I'm watching Sergeant Tom Brown, the referee. He's informing the Greenwich bench that it's roughing the passer. It'll be declined. The touchdown is good.
And, John, I was about to say to you, I thought Langen had been sacked. Ferris started that play blocking. He missed the original sign, thought it was a run play. After Langen scrambles back, Ferris was the only man over here, made the first man miss, and the speed was put on display.
He's dangerously quick if you're playing defense against him, and he had the wherewithal to know the quarterback was in trouble and find somewhere where he could get open and be a safety valve.
It'll be Zachary Moore on to attempt the PAT. 2:23 to go, 6-0 following the 60-yard score by Tyler Ferris, his first of the season. Moore's kick is up, and it is good. So 7-0 Greenwich with 2:23 to go. We'll take a quick break and be right back after this on the HAN Network.
Do you do a lot of running around but get nowhere when you're buying a car? Visit Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram for the one-stop buying experience and stop spinning your wheels.
Washington Prime, now open on Main Street in Georgetown. Come enjoy our relaxed setting, excellent service, award-winning nightly happy hours, and feast on our creative new American cuisine. Connecticut Magazine's winner for Best Steak, Washington Prime of Georgetown.
Welcome back here to the HAN Network. 7-0 Greenwich following the Tyler Ferris score. Connecting from Langen from 60 yards out. Pretty good play there, John.
Yeah, you've been raving about that play. Really heads-up play to block, disengage, find a place to catch. Trinity now backed up 15 on that roughing the pass.
You have the rushing the passer penalty. Obviously, they choose to enforce that on the kickoff. No point in taking a half the distance from the extra point, but it was more a miscommunication. Ferris missing the sign. He literally had a snag route run right behind him there, about 5 yards down the line. I was staring at that. I didn't notice Langen escaping the pocket until about 3 seconds later. At that point in time, Ferris was all alone. His second catch of the year, but he makes it count, and it was a nice move. Stop on the dime, make that first man miss, and then bam, off to the races.
See, I didn't see that end. I was watching Langen try to find something, and all of a sudden there was a streak of red coming at us.
And I think that was what happened too, because I think Langen wanted Ferris on a little hitch route there, get a couple yards, got stuck when he didn't see him. Surprise here, we saw a bunch of onside kicks last week. This one, a really good one! Oh, man. 3 guys faked it. It was Kyle Woodring, the big tackle, who ended up kicking that one. What an onside kick attempt, too.
If you have the discipline to stay behind the line, it's a really cool thing to do. But you got to watch the procedure.
Especially, we saw Greenwich, who attempted 4 onside kicks last week against West Hill, excuse me. So obviously, kicking game is an issue, but when you're kicking off from the opposite 45, it's not that bad of an idea when you think about field position.
It's really not. Plus, they've made coverage so much more difficult. When last year they limited you, you have to be inside 5 yards unless you're the kicker. So that running start of 10 yards is gone.
And the reason that it goes where it went out of bounds is because it was coming off the personal foul penalty. So they can't have it at the 35 where it would normally be. A little bit of a muddle huddle break there as they shift the formation coming out. Granada gives to Bavona on the right side, trying to make his way to the corner. Coming up and making a great tackle around the ankles was the senior Isaac Floyd.
A lot of east-west yards. He needs to get some north-south.
Greenwich doing a good job of winning the battle at the interior point of the line of scrimmage. Bavona forced to try and work off the tackles, but we did see them get the jet sweep involved, and they had success.
Greenwich has also really shut down the edge. When Bavona's had success on the jet, it's when he's planted and turned up in the C gap. It's when they're carrying this wide, way out to the outer reaches of the D gap.
Shifting again, and this time it's a wildcat formation. Sverchek taking the snap from the gun. Dances his way for about 3 yards, and that will bring up 3rd and 8.
So to finish my thought, it's when he's been able to plant and cut it up inside the line and then ladder it that he's had success with the jet sweep.
So 3rd and 8 now, backed up on their own 28-yard line, trailing 7-0 with 1:15 to play here from Cardinal Stadium. Again, the give inside. This time it's Malia, but he's met at the line and dropped right away.
They keep lining the backup offset left to the most part and then sending him down the line to kick somebody out. And they just haven't gotten that block clean. Greenwich has shut that down every time they've tried that power type scheme.
No hesitation from Coach Panapata as he sends out the punt unit.
You don't want to fall behind two at this point.
No, Alfano the punter. It's Iobi to return. Cardinals showing like they're going to come after this one. Low end over end kicked, almost hit Malia. Did well to avoid that one. And it will take a fortuitous roll for Trinity and be marked down at the 33-yard line, where the Cardinals will take over with just 15 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. Strong start for Greenwich, though. Good first series. Come back, and they're able to punch it in the second. As that T-shirt cannon almost cleared the bleachers out of the stadium.
You just really
We're going to get a T-shirt today. I got a good feeling about that one.
Oh, this might be it.
Make a play, Kate. 15 seconds to go in the first quarter.
We've got trips look from Greenwich now. really spreading the field. And this is opening up that middle run game. Because they've got players out, they're just, what are we doing here? Are they saying that it did touch?
So they'll say that it hit Malia.
The kick hit a Trinity Catholic defender.
So the Cardinals then have the option to take the ball at the point of first contact. So they'll say it hit Malia at the 44, and Greenwich will elect to take it there versus back on the 33.
That's not an insignificant amount of yardage.
No.
And that's why you've got to keep away. You've got to be aware of where the punt is. It's difficult if you're one of the gunners on that.
We saw last night Ridgefield's first punt return. They had the left returner as it's Iobi inside, again dancing over the line. Diving in was Bavona to make the stop after a gain of 3. But we saw the right punt returner for Ridgefield fake like he was catching it while the ball was kicked to the left side. And it fooled almost the entire New Canaan punt team. Had it not been for Graham Braden over there, they might have taken it for 6.
Really?
And that's why you want your punters yelling out left, 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 right, 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 wherever that ball's going. Bavona is going to get called here for a hit to the head. So it'll be an extra 15 yards, putting it inside the Trinity 40. But that's the end of the first quarter here with the score 7-0 in favor of Greenwich. We'll step aside here, but we'll be right back on the HAN Network.
Connecticut is coming back to hometown banking. To a partner that makes small businesses feel big. Where community comes first. Where high-tech tools go hand in hand with a human touch. Where you get the know-how only neighbors can deliver. Where saving time is important too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
Give your day a jumpstart with the latest news, sports, weather, and more on Coffee Break, live on the HAN Network, weekdays at 11 a.m. Connecticut news doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break.
Welcome back to the HAN Network. Beautiful Saturday here from Greenwich High School and Cardinal Stadium. The Cardinals on top 7-0 off the Tyler Ferris 60-yard reception at the midway point of the first quarter. Trinity has been held at bay since that first series when they were stopped on 4th down. John, what's your take from the first quarter of play?
Trinity needs to get back to being able to move the ball the way they did on the ground on that first set. They got the stop, and then they drove it. They cannot let this broken play, those things are going to happen. You cannot let that affect your game plan. You've got to do what you want to do. You've got to keep Greenwich off the field.
There was a 15-yard personal foul penalty for helmet-to-helmet contact on that last play, so that is how Greenwich has ended up inside the Trinity 40 as it's Iobi again inside. As Coach Marinelli and this offense are very content trying to ground it out on the ground.
That's what Greenwich ought to do here is take a page from Trinity's book and just run the ball. They've shown they can get 4 yards a clip. So you can move the chains. Do to Trinity what they're trying to do to you. Chew up 4 minutes of clock and score.
Good job this time from that interior Crusader defense. Brian Bellamy was there at the point of contact to stop Iobi in his tracks. 3rd and 7 now approaching for the Cardinals as they switch out the receiver group.
3rd and long for the Cardinals.
Ferris, Morganti, and Ferrara at the bottom of your screen. Alone up top is Negron. Langen and Iobi in the backfield. The draw set up. Iobi dancing through a couple of defenders and then upended right at the 20-yard line. Excuse me, that's the 30.
And they just continue to have success running that mid-zone. They've spread out the defense with the trips all the way out to the numbers on the far side. And they're just running zone at will.
4th and 3 coming up for the Cardinals. Time it's the jumbo Wildcat set in the backfield. Power run and getting the first down and then some was Cole Hartley.
That's hard running. That's just keeping your feet moving, keep the leg drive, don't stop at contact, and drive your way through the pile.
It's a 6'8", 180-pound senior tight end.
6'8".
Back. Yeah,
I'll coach him any day. Find me a 6'8" tight end.
They're going to stay with this package now inside the 25.
Well, again, why not? Run the ball and chew up some time.
Same play again, hitting off that right tight end was Hartley. Good enough for a gain of 3. First trip to the red zone today for the Cardinals.
I mean, if it's me, for what it's worth, I'm staying in this package, and I'm going to hammer, and I'm going to take my time coming to the line and score and go up 2 scores and chew up some time.
And we have got a false start penalty against the Cardinals, and that one is going to sting because James Day was running by himself down the middle of the field as they had the play-action pass set up.
Those are killers, and that's and so much for my thoughts about running the ball over and over again.
Well, you know Johnny will always have a trick up his sleeve. We've seen one already today on the throwback attempt.
Johnny likes to go up top, too. A lot.
Back to this jumbo set. It's still Hartley under center as he's going to throw downfield, forcing one there as another flag flies out. And then a little extracurricular as Alfano and Day exchanged words.
Incomplete. Multiple flags on the play.
And John Maryland not happy with Day, ordering him to the sideline. He's livid.
A lot going on right now down there.
The Greenwich staff trying to calm Day down.
Marinelli all the way out on the hash marks right now. We'll see if he is instructed back towards the sideline. At risk, honestly, of receiving a flag for just walking out that far, John.
Yes, if you catch the wrong crew at the wrong time, they will certainly flag you for that.
And we've got some action going on down here by the benches, John. As you can see, Day having to be refrained, pulled back, Langan in there as well.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against both Trinity Catholic and Greenwich. Those penalties offset. Holding against Trinity Catholic.
So we've got offsetting unsportsmanlike penalties against each team, then a defensive holding call at the start of the play that will go against Trinity. So in the end, the Cardinals are going to get 5 yards and an automatic first down.
5 and a first. I don't see any indication of anything more than the 15 yards.
They're actually going to give them...
It'll be 5 yards.
The 10-yard penalty against Trinity Catholic.
Still talking this one over are the officials. They finally have it marked off. The ball has been spotted on the 15-yard line. Waiting to get the down marker set, and it is the automatic first down. They'll put it on the 13 exactly, 9:20 to go, and when the dust settles, it is 1st and 10 for Greenwich. Hartley still the quarterback. Joined in the backfield by Comizio, driving towards that right hash mark, and another flag coming in.
There's a flag behind the play. There's a power slam behind the play, and it's getting a little chippy out there. No doubt what Greenwich was going to do there. They shifted over, had 2 backs in front of the quarterback. You knew they were running that double ISO.
And Tom Brown's job just becoming a very busy one now as he is continuously having to signal signs to the press box. It's a holding call against the Cardinals, but we've also got an unsportsmanlike penalty against the Cardinals.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
So it will still be first down, but it's going to be 1st and 35.
I think we're rapidly approaching the point where both head coaches are summoned onto the field and told, tell your guys to knock it off. The suddenly busy crew is Tom Brown as your referee. Greg Sperling is the back judge. Ray Raza is the umpire. Robbie Davis is the head linesman. And John Fiore is the line judge.
So it's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the hole, holding. Then you can tack on another 15 for the unsportsmanlike. Coach Marinelli has already sent the 10 personnel package back out there. Langham will be back at quarterback. But in the end, they'll have to go from the 30-yard line down to the 3.
So 1st and 27.
It is first down Greenwich at their own 29-yard line.
And Coach Marinelli is going to take a timeout here and discuss this one, talk it over. Let's take it with them. 9:13 to play, 7-0 Greenwich right here on the HAN Network.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, scapchryslerjeep.com or scapdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands right now during the Jeep Celebration event and Ram Power Days. Now through September 30th.
I'm Frank Granito.
And I'm Donald Ing for the HAN Network.
Tune in to Nutmeg Sports Monday through Thursday, where we bring you all the top stories from Connecticut sports.
From highlights to player interviews and expert analysis, no one gets you closer to Connecticut's games than Nutmeg Sports.
Nutmeg Sports, now Monday through Thursday at 2 p.m. on the HAN Network.
We are back here on the HAN Network. 1st and 27 now for the Cardinals, as that one is back, and gone.
Thank you, Chris Berman.
Told you the T-shirt gun was going to reach us sooner or later. Dropping back is Langham, looking down the seam, going up, makes the catch. Touchdown, Greenwich. What a strike. Morganti on the receiving end. 1st and 27. Let's pick up 33 and score.
What gets me is Morganti was being covered stride for stride on that post, and they still got it to him. They put it in his hands.
You saw that last-second breakaway speed. He was honestly on your screen, covered behind those white jerseys. Then the last second, bam, emerges, able to run. That one's gone too. Able to break past the defender, catch it in stride. 13, make it 14-0 Cardinals with 9:08 to go. As Greenwich is starting to open it up. So, John, we've now seen the Greenwich offense go against the defense with things getting chippy. What can we expect with the ground and pound Trinity offense coming onto the field?
I'm curious to see if they stay ground and pound. They need to trust that they can keep this to 2 scores. You get to 3, it starts to be a problem.
And they might have to start throwing it around, which they're not really trying to do, not their strong suit. They've been patient up to this point, but we'll see if things have to change as the kick return unit gets ready to come out. We'll get ready to see if there's another onside kick coming here from the Cardinals team. Let's take a moment, too, and recognize some of our sponsors, John, here with the HAN Network, who have partnered up to be a part of our broadcast team. You've got the Hospital for Special Surgery, Coastal Orthopedics, the Doc Shop, Mex on Main, and In Sports, both in Trumbull, just to name a few of the companies who are partnering up with the HAN Network.
Helping us bring you the FCIAC, and really helping the FCIAC because money's going into the FCIAC that's helping these programs.
This money does go back to all these student athletes here and to help make the FCIAC what it really is. Set to kick it off is Moore, unless we see a little trickery again.
Oh, you will. Come on.
Shifting to the outside, 3 left in the middle.
Well, that wasn't tricky at all.
Paul's got to go 10 yards. Can't just fall off the tee like that. Isaac Floyd and Andrew Holland are the other 2 players who stayed in the middle with Moore.
Trinity now in its hands look, with 9 guys in the first 10 yards from the 50 back, all watching for that onside kick. So here you'll see Greenwich probably pooch it into no man's land or kick it deep where it's going to be incredibly difficult to block any sort of return.
Fake by one man. There's the little pooch kick as mentioned. Lands at the 20, picking up. Now working across the field to the left side. Hits the seam and finally wrestled down.
Kaminsky with the return.
Was Michael Kaminsky.
Kaminsky was able to scoop that clean. I almost wonder if he stayed out by the numbers if he didn't have a better lane.
Did well to pick up about 20 or so on the return. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 42 for the Crusaders, trailing 14-0.
A score here, and they could say, okay, we can do this.
Don't forget that Trinity will receive the ball to start the second half. Fumble on the snap, driving to pick it up is Granada. Makes the first man miss. And there to wrestle him down was Mike Cece. Club and all.
You cannot hand off the jet if the snap gets back to you on the ground.
So a loss of 5 on the play.
And Trinity starting with good field position, they give 5 yards of it right back.
Now 2nd and 15 for the Crusaders from their own 37. The give to Bavona. Worked on the right side, cuts all the way back to the left. Rumbling up ahead and wrapped up and brought down right around the 46-yard line. So 3rd and manageable at least now for the Crusaders. There to make the stop for the Cardinals was Ben Kraninger, the senior captain.
Still 3rd down, though, because you get the bad snap, you may as well play with 3 downs.
Trinity really cannot afford to go 3 and out right now.
No, they needed to establish a ground game here, and they're not doing it so far.
Here's that tight end trips look. We'll call it trio with the backside tight end. Again, the give to Bavona. Making original contact in the backfield there was big number 78, Peter Ryan. And then a flock of Cardinals closed in with him as they forced the Crusaders into a 3 and out here with 7:50 to go.
I'll call it trio because you're the play-by-play guy. But if I slip and call it Trey, that's what I'm used to calling it. It's a tight end trips look.
We'll go offensive versus defensive terminology. So Alfano back on to punt as the Cardinals defense has looked very strong throughout the afternoon.
Late arrival at the bouncer position.
And that is James Day. First time we've seen him as Alfano trying to fake it. Fumbles the ball once, able to recover. Running all the way around now, ripped down and thrown to the ground by Holden Teedy at the 25-yard line. Not sure if Alfano called his own number there.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to watch the when he gets to the bench and see. But he had no shortage of guys in red jerseys who are happy to see him running with the ball there.
So 7:19 remaining in the second quarter. 14-0 at the moment, but great field position for the Cardinals offense.
Here's that 3rd score that I just talked about when Trinity took over. Greenwich gets the 3rd score. Now you're really starting to sweat a little bit.
The give inside to Iobi.
Iobi to the left.
Little trap play working on the right side, cutting back to the left. Picks up about a yard.
2nd down Greenwich.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 9, under 7 minutes to play.
A little confusion on the personnel switch here for the Cardinals.
Trying to get organized and get set. 2 backs join Langen.
Tremendous cushion on the top receiver.
The give inside to Hartley.
Hartley to the right.
I mean, the corner was 10 yards off.
We saw that opposite motion from the back, give the opposite way.
Brings up 3rd and 9.
Hartley stopped at the line of scrimmage by Timothy Val. So 6:15 to go, 3rd and 9 approaching the Cardinals. Most likely 4-down territory for them. Langen looking left, throws over the middle, making the catch, and enough for the first down. It was Jeremiah Harris.
Now, if Greenwich scores here, they can't score anymore if Ben McPadden, our future Wish kid, is going to be correct in his 21-14 prediction.
Something tells me Ben will be okay with the Cardinals running this one up.
I think so.
Quick fire again to Harris. Stops on a dime, makes a man miss, reaching for the pylon. Touchdown, Cardinals.
That's a lot of cushion to give a receiver, Frank. You're a DB's coach.
And it was a great recognition there from Langen. Seeing that cushion, quickly comes back to the hitch route. Credit Harris making a man miss at the 3-yard line, getting into the end zone. We always told our kids, John, you cannot backpedal down at the goal line. As soon as you take one step behind the line, you've given up a touchdown. The ball just has to cross the plane.
Correct. And maybe, nope. Conversely, the wideout should tell them come back to the ball, which he did. He shut down and came back.
Moore's extra point is up and good. He is 3 for 3 on the afternoon. 5:52 to play. 21-0. We'll step aside right here on the HAN Network.
Hi, this is Leo Carl from Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan, and you've heard me talk about the Chevy Volt for years. The new model gets 53 miles on EV charge daily, plus 420-mile full range. But don't take my word for it. You need to come in and test drive the Volt yourself. Visit us at 261 Elm Street in New Canaan or online at carldirect.com.
Welcome back here to the HAN Network. 5:52 remaining in the first half. 21-0. The Cardinals lead following the 6-yard touchdown reception by Harris connecting from Langen. It's been all Greenwich since that first Trinity Catholic series. So we get set for another kickoff here from the Cardinals. This one a true kickoff as Moore, good leg into that. Landing down around the 5-yard line, Bavona Field. Big block there. It's coming back for sure, John.
Oh, yeah. The argument's going to be that Gerardo Gonzalez had his head in the front. Enough of the shoulder caught the back. They're going to call that all the time as a block in the back.
It's going to go half the distance from the foul, so they'll be starting this drive somewhere around the 6 or 7 yard line. John, a very special occasion here at Greenwich Day. It's Emily Fedorko Day. The Cardinals are dedicating today's game to the former high school student who tragically lost her life in a tubing accident back on August 6th in 2014. There's a information table down here at Cardinal Stadium. You can make a donation. Learn more about the Emily Catherine Fedorko Foundation. It's an organization created in Emily's memory to educate teens about the habits of safe boating. As first down, the give to Bavona. Jump cut there, well done. And another flag, looks like that'll be a block in the back as well. We were down at the tent earlier today. They have bandanas, headbands, wristbands, shirts, bracelets, and little string bags that you can buy. Everything is $5. Emily's mother, Pam, is in attendance today. Her younger sister, Kelsey, actually, scored 2 goals earlier today in a 4-0 win for the JV team. That was followed up by an 8-1 win by the varsity field hockey team over Danbury. A tragic story, John. It's just absolutely heartbreaking, but it's nice to see everyone showing support and raising awareness.
A lot of support, a lot of TL Aqua, whatever you want to call it. And they've already had success in changing the boating laws when it comes to teens operating boats.
It's still first down for Trinity Catholic.
And the penalty goes against the Cardinals. It will be 1st and 5 now. And yep, there was going to be a false start on that one. Little bit off sync as everyone but the center appeared ready to go there.
False start against the Crusaders.
So the 5 free yards you were awarded, you'll take right back. Still first down. Now they'll need to pick up 12 from their own 7-yard line, trailing 21-0 here with 5 minutes to go in the first half.
And Trinity in real danger of giving Greenwich another short field that Greenwich would gladly turn into another 7 points.
Under center is Granada. The give to Malia up the gut. Driving forward. Picks up about 4. Bringing up second down here.
The best up the middle play they've shown so far today.
And the front 7 for Greenwich has looked so good. Really on both sides of the ball, the line has dominated the line of scrimmage.
Oh, yeah, all of the attention's been on the backs and on the perimeter and the passes. But where Greenwich is winning this game is they're just dominating the middle of the field. And when you can do what you want in the middle, you can do what you want anywhere.
Shifting around again are the Cardinals. Under center, Granada. He's got Bavona in the backfield. Play action fake. No, they give it to Bavona again. Goes for no gain. So 3rd and 7 coming up now. 4 minutes left to play.
For Trinity Catholic.
And we could see another Cardinal touchdown realistically before the end of this half.
And it's a tricky punt because they're going to be right outside the end zone unless they pick up a significant block of yardage here.
3rd and 7. Ball on the 12. Granada in the gun. Dropping back, looking to his left. Pump fake, trying to connect on the hitch and go, but it is just out of the fingertips of Mikey Riddle.
Riddle had made himself open on the double move. It had caused the corner to shudder and shut down just enough to get a couple of steps.
Isaac Floyd was the corner who did a good job of recovering. But Granada throws out a yard shorter, and Riddle might have a chance to run away with it.
Iobi back deep to receive Alfano's punt.
I'm not sure it's Alfano back to punt. Yes, it is.
A good job to go up and catch that one. Gets away a good kick here, end over end. Iobi will not field it, letting it roll. Crosses over to the Cardinals side of the 50, but plenty of time left to work from your own 49. 3:17 to go. Scoreboard reads 3 timeouts. They actually only have 2. I just saw Coach Johnny Marinelli and one of the assistant coaches, Joe Verdiak, having that conversation down on the sideline.
And since that timeout that John Marinelli called when things started to get hot, it's been all Greenwich.
Yeah, it really has. They came back after that play and scored. They've been dominant since then. The defense has not allowed a first down in quite some time now. Langen has looked good throwing the ball, and Iobi has had plenty of success behind the big lineman.
To the middle again. And Greenwich could do this for the rest of the quarter.
So a gain of 3. Brings up 2nd and 7.
All right.
They cross over the 50-yard line. 2:55 on the clock. Fake it. There's an end around as they've got Ferris out in space. Tyler Ferris, there's a block out on the outside. It's going to come back for a hold. Good design, though, faking inside to Iobi and going with the reverse.
Well, Trinity had, I think, 9 players within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage at the snap. You may as well try to bounce it outside.
So the hold will go against Jeremiah Harris. 2:40 on the clock. They'll back it up 10 yards from the spot of the foul. It'll be 2nd down. And about 6. Ultimately, they end up gaining a yard on the play.
They gain a yard, but they also really gain it down because that time doesn't come back. They can take this to the end of the quarter if they want.
Motioning Iobi out to the left. Langen looking to the left, flush from the pocket now, trying to escape on the run. Puts his shoulder down and trucks over Sverchek. 2:21 Good job by the safety stepping up and bringing the quarterback down short of that first down. Ball on the 44-yard line, 3rd and 3 coming up for the Cardinals. Clock is not running right now, John. I thought he might have stayed in bounds.
Ball rolled out of bounds.
I'll say it rolled out of bounds. Quick look. It's a reverse pivot draw. That's a new one there. Might have had Iobi on the wrong side, but nevertheless, it's a first down.
Yeah, I'm very curious as to whether that was by design or Iobi was on the wrong side. Regardless, it was unorthodox enough to mess with the defense, and Greenwich moves the chains.
Credit those big linemen again, though, pushing the line of scrimmage back as they go to Iobi one more time. Following his blockers all the way up to about the 26-yard line. Be close to a first down. We'll see where the spot is.
Greenwich is big, and they are quick, and they're moving whole sides of the line on these schemes, and it's really pounding and tearing at the Trinity Catholic defense. And we've got an official style. Looks like they're going to measure this.
And it's funny, John, because so many people just assume with the Johnny Marinelli systems and the offense that comes, they're going to throw the ball 100 times a game and they're going to fling it all the way around.
Everything's going to be hurry up. They're going to come out in no huddle and run 10 plays a minute for 48 minutes.
People forget that while he was the offensive coordinator in New Canaan, they were one of the best teams in the state consistently running the football. And they had a lot of athletic quarterbacks that helped that, but they had some great running backs that were on display as well.
They did, and I remember a state semifinal game that I called in the rain. I believe it was Wethersfield. Wethersfield came out in the second half, scored a couple early, looked like they were going to get back into it. New Canaan, under its own end zone, gets in the eye. 97 yards later, they've scored one.
You can remember Frank Cognetta in Johnny's last year. He almost set the single-season rushing record. He was within staring distance of that record held by Chris Silvestri. So a lot of people surprised to see Iobi getting so much work, but this is how Johnny wants to control the pace of the game. As Langen drops back on 2nd and short, coming there, almost making the sack was Malia. Good job by Langen, seeing Iobi and being able to throw that one away.
Avoids the flag for grounding. Right. Johnny wants to control the pace. He may not want to run 100 plays a minute, this NASCAR or whatever you want to call it. But you get to control the pace. You can speed up. You can slow down. You can do whatever you want. The defense has to react.
So 3rd and 1 now from the 26. Langen in the gun. Fakes to Iobi. He's got to keep it himself diving forward, and he will have enough for the first down with 1:30. 1:29 now on the clock. 2 timeouts remaining. A 21-0 lead for the Cardinals as things have slowed down quite a bit here since that Harris touchdown with 5 minutes to play. Langen dropping back, looks left, staring that way, now going towards the middle of the field, off the fingertips of Alfano as he was hoping to connect with Morganti on the post route.
How much you taking that shot on first down is confidence that your running game will keep the chains moving?
There's definitely a lot of confidence in that throw, especially trying to squeeze it through double coverage. You had Alfano underneath, Willie Sadler, the senior corner, with the coverage over the top.
We got a penalty back at the line of scrimmage.
It will be a holding penalty against the Cardinals, backing them up to the 40-yard line. Now 1st and 25.
We've had some very odd combinations today.
That's a holding penalty deep in the backfield, too. As Langen flushed out, wanted to go to the left side, instead comes back, trying to dive and make the catch. Along that right sideline was Negron. JL unable to come up with that one. So 1:11 left now. 2nd down approaching the Cardinals. It appears they're going to have possession until at least halftime, Johnny.
Which I think they're fine with. I think, Go to the line. Tell your quarterback not to snap it until the back judge raises his hand. Go in with a 21-0 lead. You can be pretty comfortable.
Especially with a defeated look on that Trinity sideline right now. This one thrown down the right sideline. Negron going up, almost made the catch over the much smaller Mikey Riddle.
That would have been an acrobatic catch, to say the least.
Definitely saved an interception, though, getting his fingers on it, as it looked like it might have slipped out of Langen's hand. 3rd down and 22 to go.
So much for taking it to the half.
I would expect that we might see some kind of a run play here with Iobi.
Trinity could use its timeouts, too, to get the ball
true.
back. They haven't done so yet.
Langen drops back. They try to set up a little screen. Working behind his blockers is Iobi, and he gets all the way down.
Flag back at the 30.
Inside the 25-yard line. Another flag flies in, as we've seen quite a few of these since the little skirmish we had earlier in the second quarter.
It's a hold on Greenwich. And when you're blocking out there, and sometimes I don't know that the kids grab onto it. It's going to be a pun there. You've got to keep your hands inside. As your hands creep out, you're just making yourself more and more likely to get called for the hold. Once you get your hands outside the frame, you're just looking to get that flag.
So now after the it's only a 1-yard penalty when they mark it off. We'll get a false start here now.
Flag on the play.
As the Greenwich offense really does not want this drive to come to an end.
They don't want this half to come to an end.
Apparently not. It's been all sunshine, though, with the exception of these last few penalties for the Cardinals. Ferris, the opening score.
3rd and a heap.
Morganti picked up the 2nd, and Harris on the 3rd. Langen has thrown for 3 touchdowns in the first half. But it's been Iobi who has really dominated, running in between the tackles. Langen looking downfield, escapes one man, still rolling to his right, tries to get the throw off, and it will short hop Tyler Ferris along that right sideline. Give credit to Arthur Yaniv, who was applying pressure there for the Crusaders. And coming out to punt now is Tyler Blizzard.
And they're moving the sticks, which they probably should leave those set. There we go.
Tyler Blizzard into punt for Greenwich.
I'm figuring 4th and 33 here. This is the first Greenwich punt.
It is the first Greenwich punt. First time we have seen Blizzard, the 6'4 junior. 48 seconds on the clock. 21-0 in favor of the Cardinals. Trinity with all 3 of its timeouts left, pending a good return here from Alfano. See how aggressive they get. This is a high wobbling kick down to Alfano, who signals for the fair catch at the 12-yard line.
I'm a little surprised Trinity didn't go for the block harder than they did. I mean, they kept them honest. They did what you do. You send somebody and keep it honest. I'm surprised they didn't wholesale for that block.
I'm 4th and 33, trailing 3 scores. I don't disagree with you there.
Worst case scenario, he kicks it deep and you're pinned deep and you take a knee and you go in down 3 touchdowns.
You're working from your 14-yard line right now, John. You have all 3 timeouts. How aggressive do you think the Crusaders get here?
It depends what they do on first down. If they get something here, yes. If they don't get anywhere here, watch them just run it out.
They give inside to Malia. Wrapped up immediately at the point of the line. Brought down. Remember last week we had the Stanford and Danbury game as Coach Johnny Marinelli.
Greenwich calls the timeout.
He's going to force the issue here using a timeout.
He's going to make them punt. And I would wager that he will be aggressive going after it.
Again, the scoreboard says 3 timeouts. I think that was the second timeout used.
It is the second timeout.
So it'll be interesting.
He called one when all the extracurriculars were going on.
I don't know that they'll be able to see 4th down.
Probably not.
With 32 seconds on the clock. Keep in mind, though, last week at the Stanford-Danbury game, it was around this time in the game. From around this point on the field, Tyrell Diaz caught the 81-yard middle screen that gave life to that Stanford team who was trailing 7-0. So
what a great game that was.
That was such a blast. What an unbelievable finish. Just a great opening week of football. We had another good one last night. It was a 1-point game at the half before New Canaan pulled away in the second half after the Drew Fowler injury. But it's been a very exciting first 2 weekends of football here.
Here's a nuanced question. Have you ever seen a team move benches at a road stadium so they could do halftime in the end zone? Trinity has just moved the benches. We've got a stretch going nowhere.
You can see that in the top left corner of your screen there, a couple of the Trinity players walking around. They've taken the benches off the sideline to the back of the end zone, getting ready for halftime. 25 seconds on the clock here as Johnny will use his third and final timeout. Do you consider just taking a knee here?
Oh, if I'm Trinity, yes. Because now the timeout count is correct.
And honestly, you know that the Cardinals are going to be aggressive and trying to rip this ball out. Maybe just play it safe.
Yeah, take the knee, get out of there healthy, and then see what you can do in the second half.
Get out of there healthy and then head to that new bench in the back of the end zone.
It's well set up, though. But, I mean, you put the ball on the ground, even if you recover it, you've caused this. You've slowed the clock.
Yep.
You're giving a chance. Just get out.
I agree. I think you let this half end and you regroup heading into the second one.
October 15th, Greenwich High School Hall of Fame.
It has been a long and deliberate final 2 minutes of this half, though.
You know, the first quarter was like that. It was so quick. And the second quarter, particularly the last 2 minutes, which continue. And now Trinity calls one of its timeouts.
A little miscommunication amongst the Crusaders as Coach Panapata trying to get everything organized here.
But you don't want anything to happen that's going to give Greenwich some kind of a scoop and score or a pick.
Trinity will get the ball to start the second half. Make sure you stay tuned with us for halftime. We'll be joined by Ben McFadden again. We'll get his thoughts on the first half. He's got the Greenwich score right so far in his prediction.
So far.
I don't think he'll be upset that he was a little high with his Trinity guess.
I think he'll be all right with that.
We had him on, John, as we are going to see the Crusaders take a knee. We had him on, though, before the field with us before the game, talking with the captains for Greenwich. What a treat that was. And first of all, we can't thank Coach Marinelli and the Greenwich captains enough for coming out. They were so great with him. Gave him a couple of their helmet decals, but
he was so excited to see those.
And he showed up prepared with questions that were great. It was a lot of fun. We look forward to bringing him back with us in a couple of minutes. Let's take a quick break, though, and we'll be right back on the HAN Network. At the end of the first half, it is Greenwich 21, Trinity nothing. Stay tuned. We'll be back shortly after this.
1, 2, 3, Abby! You know! I want to find out how good I am. Yes, sir! If you relax, you get blown out. Let's get it done! Let's get it done!
What can you take advantage of right now?
Again, come on! I can push myself way beyond what you think. Pressure technique. Bring it back.
The leaves are changing, water temps dropping, and the sun is setting a little earlier each day. But there's still a lot of great boating, fishing, and coast time left before we see the first snow. And above all, remember, it's always summer at the Dock Shop. With loads of new fishing tackle and accessories, clothing, jewelry, and home decor, the Dock Shop is just what you need when you start to feel that New England autumn chill. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
You're watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. More than 1.5 million viewers have watched our live sports, news, and entertainment broadcasting since the network launched in August 2015. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
As you're getting back to your regular schedules, we're excited to get back to doing what we do best, offering you the freshest seasonal fare and all the ingredients for a healthy start to school. So shop Walter Stewart's for everything fresh, from A, apples to Z, zucchini, and from cotton candy grapes to back to nature all-natural snack bags. We save you time by stocking all of your favorite back-to-school essentials under one roof. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
I'm a filthy rich executive. I hear the market's down 1,000,000 points. I freak out. I spill my large espresso. The searing pain makes me slam on the brakes. Uh-oh, your fault. And your cut rate insurance may not cover my $90,000 car, so I sue you, because that's what I do. So get Allstate. You can save money and be better protected from mayhem. Like me.
Visit your local Allstate agent, Nick Montanaro, at 6528 Main Street in Trumbull for a personalized quote.
Welcome back to Cardinal Stadium. We're here on the HAN Network. Greenwich leads 21-0 at halftime. I'm joined by John Kovach and Ben McFadden. Ben, you had the 21 points right for the Cardinals. What looked good for Greenwich in the first half?
They were playing really good defense, and the runner was really good at running.
Do you have a favorite player on the Greenwich team so far?
Yes.
Who's that?
Pete Ryan.
Yeah, why do you like Pete so much?
Because he's my friend, I know him, and he plays good.
Ben, we got to see you running around on the field earlier. I'm going to be honest. I thought that you should have been in the Cardinal jersey today. I think they could have handed you the ball a couple times.
Yeah.
We also understand you're a big Seahawks fan. We got to talk a little bit about you liking Richard Sherman. Why is Richard Sherman your favorite player?
Because he's a defensive back, and defensive back is my favorite position to play in football.
Now, Ben, you said it would be 21-14 in favor of Greenwich at the start of the game. Do you think Trinity is going to be able to score 14 points, or might we see them keep it to 0 today?
I think we might see them keep it a 7 or 14 or 0.
All right. Well, Ben, thank you again for coming and hanging out with us today. It's been so much fun. We hope you enjoy the rest of the game, and we can't wait to see you again soon. We're going to step aside, but before we do that, let's throw it to Kate Shaplinsky with an in-game news update.
Thank you.
Good job.
I'm Kate Shaplinsky, and this is your in-game news update on the HAN Network. Bring you some of the latest headlines around southwestern Connecticut for Friday, September 16th, including an HAN Network exclusive. Weston police have uncovered hundreds of exotic birds and snakes, many in poor condition or dead at a home in Weston yesterday afternoon. The Weston Forum has been on the story this morning and say Animal Control Officer Mark Harper said that in his 26 years in business, he's never seen such deplorable conditions. About 14 exotic birds, including macaws, parrots, and a laughing kookaburra, were rescued from a modest home at 82 Newtown Turnpike by state hazmat team on Thursday. In an aviary building on the property, Harper said there were approximately 100 additional birds, mostly parrots and parakeets, which will be removed today. The birds could be heard chirping from inside the building this morning. And in addition to the birds discovered in the home, there was also a large number of non-venomous snakes, which Harper said appeared to be pythons. He estimated 40 to 50 snakes were taken out alive by the hazmat team, but about 80% of the snakes in there were dead. He said there were also some other reptiles found inside. HAN spoke with Police Sergeant Patrick Daubert this morning about the gruesome discovery. Here's what he had to say.
Yesterday afternoon at approximately 2:30, the Weston Police Department received a call about a foul odor at 82 Newtown Turnpike. Upon investigation, we determined that there were a number of animals, including snakes, birds, reptiles, inside the residence that needed assistance. At this time, we are conducting a joint investigation with multiple state agencies as well as our local animal control officer. We should have an update on this by the end of today.
Following the discovery, police called the property's owner, Daniel Copulus, who has owned the home since 2009. Copulus arrived at the property after police called and planned to stay there overnight, but police said the home could not be inhabited. According to an account on Facebook, Copulus is the executive director at Animal Preservation Alliance and the owner of Fauna NYC, a pet store which until recently was located on the Upper West Side of New York City. There is much more on that story with reporting by Patty Gay and Greg Menti at thewestonforum.com. In other news, a man violating probation in Idaho for the crime of sexual assault of a victim under 1 year old was arrested in Darien Tuesday morning after he was found camping behind the Darien Nature Center. Police say he was attempting to cross the border into Canada. Police Sergeant Jeremiah Marin of the Darien Police said that police were notified of someone camping on the trails behind the Darien Nature Center on Tuesday. Police responded, and after walking the trails for a short time, were able to observe a person who was sleeping under a blanket and a tarp. That man, later identified as 35-year-old Brian Cook of Idaho Falls, Idaho, told police that he was walking from Denver to Bangor, Maine, in tribute to his daughter who had recently died of leukemia. After Cook was taken into custody for interfering with police questioning, his correct identification was determined, and Darien police received information from the state of Idaho that police held an active extraditable arrest warrant for violation of probation. Police said that the crime for which Cook was on probation was sexual assault charge of a victim under 1 year old, and that he was attempting to flee to Canada. Cook is being held without bond for the Idaho probation violation. Marin said that extradition process to Idaho should happen within the next 30 days. And according to WTNH, a football coach at Hillhouse High School confirmed that one of his players was involved in a double shooting in the Dwight neighborhood of New Haven on Thursday. Coach Reggie Little spoke with News 8 Friday morning and confirmed that a player on the team was one of two people that were shot last night. Little said the player, identified by police as 18-year-old Derek Smith, was shot in the stomach and leg. New Haven police say they were investigating a domestic complaint on Ellsworth Avenue around 7:15 Thursday night when they heard gunfire to their north and began to head toward that direction. Officers saw two men running across the street. One was lost from sight as he cut through backyards. The other was detained and questioned. Police then spotted a vehicle on Stanley Street that had several bullet holes through the window. The car was parked and unoccupied. Officers located Smith in the backyard of a home at 58 Stanley Street. He was transported to Yale, New Haven for treatment. Police say they recovered a revolver near the scene. Coach Little said that the student-athlete will be okay and is expected to have surgery on Saturday. And finally, the Wall Street Journal is reporting that one of Darien's largest and most historic properties is on the market after nearly a century. The estate, known as Great Island, is owned by the descendants of industrialist William Ziegler, who bought the property around 1900 and used it as a summer home after making his fortune in baking powder. The Journal reported Thursday that if the Ziegler property sells for $175 million, it could set a new record for most expensive real estate property in the country. The 63-acre estate on Long Island Sound is one of the priciest residential properties on the market. It's accessed via man-made land bridges. Built in the 1900s, the main house has 6 bedrooms plus wings for staff and guests. The stone structure has views of the Sound from nearly every room, and there are additional homes on the property. But you can get much more on that story at DarienTimes.com. That does it for this in-game news update. For the latest in local news, sports, and more, watch Coffee Break weekdays at 11 on HAN.network. This update was brought to you by Bankwell.
Connecticut is coming back to hometown banking. To a partner that makes small businesses feel big. Where community comes first. Where high-tech tools go hand in hand with a human touch. Where you get the know-how only neighbors can deliver. Where saving time is important too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
1, 2, 3, FE! You know! I want to find out how good I am. Yes, sir! If you relax, you get blown out. Let's get it done! Let's get it done!
What can you take advantage of right now?
Again, come on. I can push myself way beyond what you think.
Pressure technique. Bring it back.
Injury or a slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, scapchryslerjeep.com or scapdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands right now during the Jeep Celebration event and Ram Power Days. Now through September 30th.
At In Sports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Recently renovated and home to one of Connecticut's largest indoor turf fields, In Sports is a multi-sport recreation center providing state-of-the-art facilities for league play, camps, and youth programs. Players have access to soccer, lacrosse, football, baseball and softball, field hockey, rugby, basketball, volleyball, and social game facilities. In Sports has also launched an early childhood development program, a daycare and pre-K program all rolled into one. Don't miss out on the fun. Find out more at insportscenters.com or call 203-268-1214. Like and follow us on Facebook.
As you're getting back to your regular schedules, we're excited to get back to doing what we do best, offering you the freshest seasonal fare and all the ingredients for a healthy start to school. So shop Walter Stewart's for everything fresh, from A, apples to Z, zucchini, and from cotton candy grapes to back to nature all-natural snack bags. We save you time by stocking all of your favorite back-to-school essentials under one roof. Walter Stewart's Market, 229 Elm Street, or shop online at stewartsmarket.com.
Hi, this is Leo Carl from Carl Chevrolet in New Canaan. And you've heard me talk about the Chevy Volt for years. The new model gets 53 miles on EV charge daily, plus 420-mile full range. But don't take my word for it. You need to come in and test drive the Volt yourself. Visit us at 261 Elm Street in New Canaan or online at carldirect.com.
Mex on Main, Trumbull's very own Mexican grill. We're all about fresh, fast, and friendly service. Our Main Street restaurant offers the best in traditional and non-traditional Mexican dishes, with only the best ingredients, never frozen. From authentic burritos, fajitas, quesadillas, and salads, we have something on the menu for everyone in the family. And enjoy our open salsa bar, giving you more ways to customize your meal. Stop in for lunch or dinner at 6528 Main Street, Trumbull, or find out more at mexonmain.com.
I really wanted something that felt like a home. Coming from a big house, I wanted the feel of a home as opposed to a condo. New Canaan is 6 minutes down the road. New Canaan's a beautiful little town to walk around. I work in Westport. My commute is 20 minutes. It's close to Westchester where my family is, so the location is ideal. There is no other townhome that compares in the area. This is where I want to be.
Do you do a lot of running around but get nowhere when you're buying a car? Visit Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram for the one-stop buying experience and stop spinning your wheels.
Washington Prime, now open on Main Street in Georgetown. Come enjoy our relaxed setting, excellent service, award-winning nightly happy hours, and feast on our creative new American cuisine. Connecticut Magazine's winner for Best Steak, Washington Prime of Georgetown.
I'm Frank Granito.
And I'm Donald Ing for the HAN Network.
Tune in to Nutmeg Sports Monday through Thursday, where we bring you all the top stories from Connecticut sports.
From highlights to player interviews and expert analysis, no one gets you closer to Connecticut's games than Nutmeg Sports.
Nutmeg Sports, now Monday through Thursday at 2 p.m. on the HAN Network.
You're watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. More than 1.5 million viewers have watched our live sports, news, and entertainment broadcasting since the network launched in August 2015. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
We are back here on the HAN Network. Just about 3 minutes left in halftime. Greenwich on top of Trinity 21-0. It was a very slow end to the first half, but other than that, Johnny, it was all Cardinals.
All Cardinals, just dominant up front, dominant on big plays, dominant in field position, and it shows in the 21-0 score.
You had the 60-yard touchdown pass to Ferris to get things started. After that, Morgani and Langen hooked up from about 33 yards out, and it was Jeremiah Harris who caught the 8-yard touchdown pass to make it 21-0. There was some chippiness, and we saw a couple players in some altercations, a lot of flags early on in that second quarter. Do you think it continues to trend that way into the second half, or does this slow pace sort of ride on now?
I don't know, to be honest with you. You've slowed the pace, and that might be what that timeout that John Marinelli called, while that was all unfolding, was meant to do. But if Trinity gets frustrated, you don't know. Frustrated players get angry. It's an emotional game.
Trinity will be receiving to start the second half, but it's tough to say whether or not it will be a real kick. We've seen a couple onside attempts. A squib. They kicked one deep. Did the Cardinals. They had the 4 onside attempts last week against West Hill. We can confirm now, John, Darien has defeated Stanford by a score of 51-14. As the Wave off and rolling early on this year. We will see our first action of Darien next week when the Greenwich Cardinals make their way to the high school and play at the stadium.
Very excited for that one. That one could be very interesting because I haven't had a chance to see Darien yet.
And keep in mind, we had that game last year here on the HA Network when the Wave came to town and gave Johnny his first loss as the Greenwich coach. That was quite the beatdown. 52-24 was the final, but really wasn't even that close.
It really was, but it never felt like it was out. It was a weird game, and it didn't really feel like it was out of hand. And then all of a sudden you looked up, and you're like, wow, this thing's getting away from them quick.
You were sitting there waiting for that Greenwich team to really have that breakout moment and the offense start to come to fruition, and that was where the harsh reality of a rebuilding year coming into play sort of set.
Now, Trinity with its hands team out there again, they're thinking onside. When Greenwich saw this look last time, they pooched it about, let's call it 25 yards and dropped it in the middle.
But it was a really good job by, by Nico Morse. Sorry, that's Michael Kaminsky who fielded that one hopper right around the 20 and did well to get another 20 yards.
I'm tempted right here to say kick it low and hard and skim it across the turf through those two lines, and then let's see what happens when it gets into the middle of the field.
And if you do it right that way too, you run. You could potentially hit one of those guys. It kicks back your way. They're lining up like it's an onside kick. Staring down is Sam Calandro. Excuse me. It is actually Zachary Moore who's looking onside towards the left side, at least in that stance. I mean, we've seen everyone on the roster already today take a run at the football. As here comes the onside kick rolling.
Get 10 yards.
Just not reaching 10 yards. Rolls out of bounds. So Trinity will take over from the 48-yard line.
Now, Trinity needs to make Greenwich pay for cutting the field in half on them.
The Greenwich defense did very well late in that second half. Right up front, you had Ian Pearson, Paul Williamson, Mike Cece, Ben Craninger. You look at the line, I mean, Peter Ryan. It was just a dominating performance in the trenches, as well as Sam Calandro as they go to Malia on the first play of the second half.
That was a counter. You had the fullback offset way to the right, almost like a wing. He came across it like they were going to try to run power left. Malia takes the ball right to the right. Exact same play there.
And they're going a little tempo as a flag comes flying in from the back judge. Initial ruling is for a first down. We'll see what the flag is for. Remember, folks, we didn't see it, but last week against New Canaan, as the ruling is going to be a hit to the head, so add 15 on. Last week against New Canaan, their first drive in the second half, Trinity held the ball for 9 minutes, going all the way downfield for their only scoring drive of the game.
I don't think they have the luxury of a 9-minute drive here, but a score makes it interesting.
Again, Granada hands to Malia, working to that right side, makes his way outside those numbers. And he's brought down right around the 20-yard line. Isaac Floyd, the corner, stepping up to make that tackle.
Second down, Trinity Catholic.
Just going to the right now. Four straight plays?
4 plays in a row. Excuse me, 3. This is the 4th play of the drive. And now they go to Malia up the gut on that left side. Malia breaking through the line towards the end zone. Touchdown, Crusaders.
Only took a minute 9, and Trinity's gotten back in this.
And they come out and set the tone right away. Malia from 20 yards out, and Trinity will not be shut out today. We talked about it, right. Come back with the left.
Sometimes you just catch them leaning. You catch them cheating. You can get in their heads. They start to look for it.
David Brancati to attempt the extra point. Alfano to hold. Snap, hold, and kick are no good. Missed to the left side. So a 15-point game with 10:51 to go. Greenwich 21, Trinity 6. We'll be right back on the HAN network.
I'm a filthy rich executive. I hear the market's down 1,000,000 points. I freak out. I spill my large espresso. The searing pain makes me slam on the brakes. Uh-oh, your fault. And your cut rate insurance may not cover my $90,000 car, so I sue you, because that's what I do. So get Allstate. You can save money and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Visit your local Allstate agent, Nick Montanero, at 6528 Main Street in Trumbull for a personalized quote.
10:51 to go in the third quarter. 21-6. The lead now following the Malia touchdown, and that was exactly what the Crusaders needed, John.
Yeah, but the missed extra point, that can kind of halt your momentum a little bit. It gets in your head. Okay, we've scored. We're back in it, but now we're chasing a point. We've got to make up a point someplace.
Trinity, when they scored last week, attempted to go for 2 against the Rams. They were unable to convert, so they're 0 for 1 on the season. Should it come to that point. Brancati to kick. Ferris and Iobi deep. Squib kick. Takes a fortuitous bounce there. Iobi fielding easily off a couple of them. Hits the seam, and laying the lumber there was Jordan McKee, the sophomore.
Nice tackle.
Well,
good form tackle, ran through it, got the wrap. Good job.
10:45, and the Cardinals offense now returning to the field here for the first time. We'll see what approach Coach Marinelli takes here, if he wants to eat up a little clock and ride Iobi, or take some shots here and get these receivers involved again.
Well, he's got an empty look. No, he does. No, I'm sorry. Back's offset.
The give is to Iobi right up the gut, being dragging Bavona. They're about 5 or 6 yards there, and he's able to pick up a first down as he crosses over the 40.
Hard run by Iobi.
Again, they go to Iobi inside. Flags fly in from all over.
Iobi with the carry. Flag on the play.
And it's a personal foul, face mask, 15 against Trinity.
Again, there's no longer an inadvertent face mask. If you get the hands up there, it's an automatic 15, which is a rule that I like, John. I don't think there should be an inadvertent face mask. The hand should never be anywhere near there.
No, you shouldn't be that high. And it left so much room for interpretation and discussion and argument that it really wasn't worth having the inadvertent.
So that moves the ball up to the 42-yard line. Cardinals now in Trinity territory. Give inside to Iobi. Started to his left, tried to bounce back right. But he is brought down and wrapped up there.
Late flag. We've got a Greenwich player without his helmet. I believe that is 73.
It was Chris Cicciarelli who made the tackle.
Unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against Trinity Catholic.
But another big penalty here against the Crusaders.
You can't. You just scored to get back within 2 scores.
And 2 plays that went for a combined minus 4 yards have just turned into 30 for the wrong team. 2 great defensive plays nullified by the penalties. 10 minutes to go.
That last play was the first all day that we've seen Trinity Catholic win the battle in the line, and they gave it right back. You can't do that.
Trips to the top of your screen. Langen looking that way. Fires over to the wheel. He was trying to connect with Morganti. Wanted him on the out route, but Morganti had already turned up as he was halfway through the wheel route.
Morganti may have looked back late. He did sell the out, which you want on the wheel. You want him to sell a nice out and then bend it up. A lot of guys prematurely break that up, and it just kills the element of surprise.
Trips again, the give to Iobi. Stops for a second, hits the hole hard, bouncing up to the next level, and a flag comes flying in. It's going to be a hold, and it will go against Tyler Ferrara, the receiver up in the slot.
Holding call against Greenwich.
Fans getting on the official here, having just been given 30 yards in penalties on 2 snaps.
Dropping back is Langen, looking downfield, strike over the middle, sails over the head.
Langen looks for Morganti.
Couple receivers in the vicinity, but he wanted Morganti, excuse me.
It's a lot of receivers in one place there.
Looked like they had a couple of posts or digs that were running in the same direction. Nevertheless, it'll be third. We'll call it 16 now. Trips at the top of your screen. Langen comes back, little sidearm throw trying to find Iobi. No whistles blown originally, but obviously it was a forward pass, at least from our vantage point.
Falls incomplete. Brings up 4th down for Greenwich.
Up 4th down, so despite the 2 penalties, the Crusaders able to hold here, but Cardinals showing no signs of sending out the punt unit with 4th and 16 from the 32 looming. 9:35 to play. Langen in the gun, tried to draw them offside. Not biting with the Crusaders. Dropping back Langen. Looks to his left. Now throws over the middle. He's got a man there. Making the catch is Morganti. Will he have enough for the first? Yes, he does. Needed 16. He got 18. And it's good enough for a Cardinals first down at the 15-yard line.
That is a morale crusher. When you've got them 4th and long and you let them hit the slant for that much.
2-by-2 set. Langen gives to Iobi inside. Dances around one lineman, continuing to work to his right. Stepping up from the second level was Bavona as he helps Cicciarelli to bring down Iobi after a gain of 5.
Taken down by Ciccarella.
Staying in that ace formation.
And we're seeing Zachary Moore warm up
Langen dropped back. They hit Iobi on the screen, dancing to his left, working towards the end zone, reaching for the pylon. Touchdown, Cardinals. Langen's 4th touchdown pass of the game. With 8:51 to go, it was a design screen play. They looked left to the receiver, come back, and they had Iobi behind a couple of linemen on the right side, and that is an easy 10-yard score.
I was going to point out that Moore was warming up on the sideline in case of a field goal. Let's make it a PAT.
27-6. Moore has been perfect on the day. Looking to make it 4 for 4. The kick is up. Looked like it might have gotten blocked, but it won't matter. It's no good, but we've also got a flag coming in.
Flag on the play.
And John Marinelli is already signaling for the offense to come out here following this penalty.
Personal foul, roughing the kicker.
Now confusion as to what package should be on the field for Greenwich. Be half the distance.
Langen is staying down on the sideline. We'll assume that we will see Cole Hartley in that big jumbo package come back in for the Cardinals.
That's exactly it.
They'll line it up on the 1-yard line now following the penalty.
Here we come. Stop us.
Langen looked like he might be cramping right now. As Hartley did get stopped originally at the point of contact, but we've got a false start. And now we'll see the PAT unit head back out there. So back and forth we go. Cardinals hoping they can get one of these right.
And we've got cramping on both sides here as someone from Trinity is down getting stretched by his teammates and now a trainer. A warm day.
It was not too hot, but we're now approaching the late afternoon. It was very warm at the start of the game, and it's been a very physical game as well. It will wear down your bodies.
The problem on a day like today, and I know it happens with me, it's cool and you don't think about it, and you're sweating and you don't think about it because you don't feel, and you don't take in enough fluid. And that's what you see on these cool days when guys cramp up on like an Indian summer day such as today.
It was Malia who was cramping up there for the Cardinals. We'll keep an eye on that, see if he is back on that, or excuse me, for the Crusaders, see if he's back for their next possession, coming off a big one to start the half. 8:50 to go. A PAT attempt to follow now. This one will be 25 yards. It's Nick Moore. Excuse me, Zach Moore. Kicking for the Cardinals. Snap, hold, it's a fake. Oh, well done there. Moore heading for the pylon, got a block out in front. He is in for 2. Count it.
Zach Moore with a 2-point conversion.
Alfano is down cramping now, but what a well-designed 2-point play.
Alfano laid out for the block, lands, cramps up, and they run the option. Beautiful call here.
We're going to step aside. That makes it 29-6 with 8:51 to play. We'll be right back on the HAN Network.
Connecticut is coming back to hometown banking. To a partner that makes small businesses feel big. Where community comes first. Where high-tech tools go hand in hand with a human touch. Where you get the know-how only neighbors can deliver. Where saving time is important too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
Have a sports injury or a slip and fall that needs immediate care? Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care gives you direct access to an orthopedic specialist fast, without an appointment. Biking, golf, tennis, soccer, whatever the sports injury is, sprain or fracture, Coastal Ortho Express can help. Coastal Ortho Express Urgent Care, open Monday through Saturday, now in 2 locations. The iPark building at 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk and 36 Old Kings Highway South in Darien. Or go to coastalorthoexpress.com, like them on Facebook.
Give your day a jumpstart with the latest news, sports, weather, and more on Coffee Break, live on the HAN Network, weekdays at 11 a.m. Connecticut news doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break.
We are back here on the HAN Network, 29-6 in favor of the Cardinals. Another unsportsmanlike penalty while we were at break, as Moore will once again be kicking off from the 45-yard line. Something tells me we might see an onside kick here.
I think there's no doubt. And each one of these, I think, starts to get under the Trinity Catholic skin a little more.
Well done there. Kicking that one was Zaire House. He slow rolled it 10 yards. No Trinity players reacting in time. House falls right on it. That was executed perfectly.
You dream of that. You draw that on the board and say, this is how it's supposed to happen. And it never happens that way until right there.
I was just such a hard kick to perfectly measure out and time it up well. Trinity just looked completely in shock. No one reacting. And credit House to position himself around the ball and fall back on it.
He did. He beat the ball to the 10 yards and then turned his body around to really box out any Trinity Catholic player.
Lance Large motions across to the bottom of the screen, so they've got trips into the boundary.
Actually, that's flexed trio, Frank.
Well done. Well done.
That's what I do.
Hartley and Langen in the backfield now. Iobi getting some well-deserved rest here.
I had to stop myself from saying Trey.
Hartley on that last carry. This time he stopped at the line. It was Timothy Val waiting there in the hole. With 8:20 to go. Now, week 2, some of the contenders in the conference, which I guess now is the state, are starting to emerge and present themselves. Langen looks to the hitch route. Finds him there. Nice job making the play was Negron. Jail made the first man Mitch. A little friendly fire from the Crusaders. He's wrapped up and brought down, but not before picking up another Cardinals first down.
Kind of a stick route there. He just runs out, finds a place, parks himself, waits for the ball to come, and then in dodging a Crusader, he gets 2 for the price of 1.
The give inside is to Hartley. As well to fall forward as it is first and goal. They'll call it second and goal now from the 4-yard line. So Greenwich looking to start nailing the coffin here with 7:30 to play in the third. Langen again to Hartley. Bringing the pressure this time were the Crusaders. Stopping him in his tracks was Brian Bellamy.
Brings up 3rd down.
3rd and goal from the 5. Langen already with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon.
3 over 3 up tops on that trip set. I think you're going to see him throw here.
Oh, he's going to keep it himself and run for the goal line, in for the touchdown, as Langen continues to fly here with this Cardinals offense. And the score now 35-6 with 6:59 left to play. Zach Moore coming on to attempt the extra point.
Do you think he was running the whole time, or do you think he read that?
Looked like a design run play. They had the read on the end. Pulled it from Hartley. Almost stumbled in the backfield there. Good job to recover. And he makes his way across the goal line. Snap, the kick are up and good. 36-6 as Greenwich extends their lead here in the second half. 6:59 to play. We'll be right back on the HAN Network after this.
Want a new experience in car buying? Scap Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram with one of the largest inventories of new 2- and 4-door Wranglers. We are Connecticut's Wrangler headquarters. Come visit our new Ram Truck Center. Browse our websites, scapchryslerjeep.com or scapdodge.net to find the new Jeep, Chrysler Dodge car, minivan, or Ram truck you've been looking for. Just 2 miles from both I-95 or the Merritt Parkway exit 44. Save thousands right now during the Jeep Celebration event and Ram Power Days. Now through September 30th.
You're watching the HAN Network, and you're not alone. More than 1.5 million viewers have watched our live sports, news, and entertainment broadcasting since the network launched in August 2015. Advertise on the network that reaches Fairfield County, Connecticut's most engaged audience. Contact Advertising Director Jessica Murrin at 203-273-7312 or email jessica@han.network.
Back here on the HAN Network, 6:59 to go. Frank Renito and John Kovach on the call as Greenwich is opening this one up here in the second half. 36-6 now the score. Zach Moore, one of 3 Greenwich players, John, who might be attempting this kick.
He has 3 kickers out there. Trinity still in its hands team.
There's a little pooch kick towards the left side. Picking up and fielding on the hop was Kaminsky, and he is blown up. Coming in to make that tackle was Gramos BC and Ian Morrison.
Crusaders take over on their own 32-yard line.
But his teammate, who I'm not going to single out here, ran past a block. You cannot run past a different colored shirt.
So with 6:54 to play now, all on the 32-yard line. First time we have seen the Crusaders offense since the opening drive where they rid Malia all the way down to the end zone. Bavona stops, retreats, trying to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. And a flag comes flying in late. I would love to see the scorebook with the official number of flags and yards at the end of this one.
Against the Cardinals.
A significant number of 15-yarders.
It's just been, there was the period of chippiness. It's been sloppy. Just not a clean game for any period of time today. And we saw a lot of it last week in week 1, but you think by week 2, you get a better feel for that live play. You get your head on straight and discipline is worked out, but
there's a lot of emotion in this game, Frank. There's too many people involved who've left and too many people who are coming home.
Malia on the run. He splits through the defenders to the second level, trying to make his way to the left pylon, chasing him down from behind, and making the tackle there was James Day. Great hustle from the senior corner, but a big run from the Crusaders as they have a little bit of life for the first time in almost 5 minutes.
Stay alive. Just we've got to end a late flag.
And it looks like it's going to be an unsportsmanlike call on the Cardinals. It was on number 7, James Day.
Yeah, you're up 30 points. You cannot play this undisciplined because you can't break that habit. You can't just turn it on and off.
Trying to sneak in right away was Granada, heading towards the goal line, and he is in for the score. Touchdown, Crusaders, 36-12 with 6:05 left to play. You kick the extra point, they will do that. Or go for the 2 now. They'll answer a question for us.
You've got to go for 2 at some point.
The thought process you assume is don't go for 2 until you have to. Kick the extra points while you still can.
Also, I think you want to develop your kicker. That's the other thing you get out of it. Put your kicker in a game situation. You need a ton more points for one of these to really be a pressure kick.
Brancati has looked good today, though. Has shown some power in his leg. Alfano to hold. Low snap, gets it up. Coming in, it got blocked. Will it make its way through? Yes, it does. And another flag flies in. Most likely be roughing the kicker. Let's step aside, though, following the extra point. 36-14 now in favor of the Cardinals right here on the HAN Network.
At In Sports Trumbull, the game is always on inside. Recently renovated and home to one of Connecticut's largest indoor turf fields, In Sports is a multi-sport recreation center providing state-of-the-art facilities for league play, camps, and youth programs. Players have access to soccer, lacrosse, football, baseball and softball, field hockey, rugby, basketball, volleyball, and social game facilities. In Sports has also launched an early childhood development program, a daycare and pre-K program all rolled into one. Don't miss out on the fun. Find out more at insportscenters.com or call 203-268-1214. Like and follow us on Facebook.
Good look at the Greenwich sideline here. Coach Johnny Marinelli had just brought the team in. I think he's seen enough penalties for one day, John.
He needs to reel them in. You're starting to look at, like I said as we went out, you can't just turn the discipline switch on and off. You have to play disciplined. It's gotten very undisciplined. You're not going to be able to play this kind of an undisciplined game against Darien and have a chance next week.
And it's not just Darien. You got teams like Trumbull, New Canaan, all these other FCIAC teams left on the schedule, Staples, who are watching this game and saying, we can get under their skin, we can get into their heads and force them to take stupid penalties. As Brucati gets his first opportunity to kick from the Greenwich side of the field. Expecting the onside kick were the Cardinals. Good job there to field that ground ball by Morganti.
And then his teammates did exactly what they're coached to do. Get there, protect the player who's protecting the ball.
I think we might see Coach Marinelli start to run this ball heavily, try to work clock, and get out of here without having to deal with any more penalty issues or risk any players being ejected.
You got to worry about risking ejections, and injuries always a part of this game. It just is.
6 minutes to play in the third quarter, 36-13. The give to Hartley. Wrapped up and met at the line as Bavona came up and made the stop. Haven't seen much of Bavona on offense this quarter yet, John, but he has been a standout player for this Crusader defense today.
Do you need him? You're up 23 points. You're inside 18 minutes to go, and you've got somebody like Hartley, and you can just body punch your way through the rest of this game.
And the draw play here to Hartley, bouncing towards the left side, coming up as he fights his way forward and falls down. Right around the 35, 36-yard line. He will be just short, bringing up third down.
See, this is what I would be thinking. Just put my bruising runner in and just run at them. You know they're worn down. You don't need to break a big play. You probably don't want to break a big play. Right now, burning time is more important than another touchdown.
Hartley again up the gut, bouncing to the right side, chased down from behind by Malia. As well as Tyler Austin, who stepped up in the hole, but it was not before Hartley picked up the first down.
Greenwich still, they could take more time between plays and burn clock that way. They're still on a very rapid pace.
Bavona trying to time up that blitz again. Austin steps up into the hole one more time.
Again, another final in the FCIAC earlier today. Darien with a 51-14 win over Stanford. We'll be at Darien next week when these Greenwich Cardinals travel there. And again, you can watch this game on demand at HAN.network anytime.
And a special treat next Saturday. It'll be your first appearance on FCIAC Tailgate. No Friday night football game next week. We'll be at Darien for New Canaan and Darien in field hockey as they're going to take a shot down the field here looking for Negron. And the pass overthrown by Langen.
They're looking for the interference call, and in a tight game, yeah, maybe.
Interesting there. Coach Marinelli was very concerned as to why there was no foul called for pass interference. 4:11 to play. But, John, it'll be your first appearance on FCIAC Tailgate. Of course, we'll have preview of the game. We get to hear picks. We'll have a community piece from Kate Chaplinsky. Should be a very exciting Saturday afternoon.
That might be my first FCIAC tailgate ever.
So Langen still looking to throw now. Pressure coming. He wants to try up top again. Ferris trying to run this one down. Not even he could catch up to that.
Brings up 4th and 10.
Brings up 4th down for the Cardinals.
Interesting seeing Greenwich go with the 2 passing plays there. Eat up about 2 minutes worth of time on that drive.
Frank Alfano deep to receive.
Tyler Blizzard comes on for the punt. Alfano deep to receive. He is joined by Sverchek. I haven't heard his name in a while. Blizzard with plenty of time. End over end kick. Alfano coming up for the, that was Sverchek. Coming up and signaling for the fair catch right around the 28-yard line.
Trinity Catholic takes over at their own.
Caught it on his knees, no advance, but he protects it from rolling any further.
3:58 to play, 36-13. Crusaders with a chance to cut this to a 2-possession game. The run game has looked strong with Malia here in the second half, but it is Bavona, John, who will start in the backfield. They fake to Bavona. It's a play-action play. They want Alfano on the post route. They've got him there. Alfano out in space, tripped up around the 40-yard line and wrestled down. Finally at the 33. And he is cramping up down there now, doing his best to make it to the sideline, but a big play from the Crusader offense. He was finally wrestled down by Isaac Floyd, but finally we see the play-action pass off that power play.
It's been there all day. This is the first they've hit it. Alfano stumbled after he caught it, and that's the only way I think he got caught.
I think
Although
that
the cramp didn't
I
hurt.
think that might have been the cramp right there
Probably.
that originally got him. First big play of the afternoon we've really seen from Alfano. He's been held in check by the Cardinals to this point.
Number for the 50-50 raffle. If you have the ticket number 1223862, please come up to the press box to claim your prize. 12238.
So now 1st and 10 from the 34. As Trinity looking to get back in to striking distance. The give to Malia off the right side. Cuts up at right around the 26-yard line. Stepping up there was Jeremiah Harris.
And players getting involved to separate two. Right there, just trying to keep the game moving.
Again, Malia on that right side. Good job stepping up as Kraninger filled the hole. Nope.
With the carry, taken down by Jack Fida.
Excuse me, that was Jack.
Injured player on the ground.
It was Daniel as Aviskiel.
Bavona cramping again.
Ticket number for the 50-50 raffle.
So all the running back threats that Trinity have starting to suffer from the lack of depth that comes with being one of the smaller schools in the state.
Smallest school in the FCIAC. And again, that's why with the state playoffs, this is survivable. 2 lost teams routinely make the states in Class S, Class SS.
And Trinity did make the states last year, only 1 loss. They would have qualified with 2, but got to play a home game in the first round, advancing to the semifinals where they ran into Ansonia. We'll step aside here quickly while they attend to Malia's cramps. We'll be right back on the HAN Network. Back here on the HAN Network, Malia off to the sideline. Crusaders offense getting ready to break the huddle. It'll be 3rd down and 4, John. Have to think they are in 4-down territory right now.
Oh, absolutely. There's no question.
The give to Bavona. Well done there, squeezing And applying pressure from the side, it was Mike Cece.
You're inside 15 minutes to go in this game. You've got to move the chains on this 4th and 6 now.
So now 4th and 6 following the 2-yard loss. What a great job. The senior linebacker and captain scraping off the edge, squeezing down the line, and dropping Bavona for a 3-yard loss. With the club, mind you. So 4th and 6 with 2:20 to go. Granada in the gun. Dropping back, looking to the right side, forced out of the pocket, trying to escape and get the first down. Lost the ball. They'll say he was down. He's going to come up short. It will be Greenwich ball with 2:10 to play in the 3rd quarter.
Taken down by Peter Ryan.
It's actually better for Greenwich that he's ruled down.
Coming up without a helmet was Ian Pearson.
It's better for Greenwich that he's ruled down. It saves him about 5 yards.
And that's a turnover on downs for Trinity Catholic. Greenwich will take over on the
36-13. 2:10 remaining here in the 3rd quarter. As we see the Cardinals offense, Hartley and Langen back in the backfield. Hartley taking from Langen, hits the next level, off to the hole, and now he's off to the races. Stumbled for a moment, giving chase is Alfano. Reaches back to throw a stiff arm, and he's finally wrestled down at the 15-yard line. It's a gain of about 65, and it'll go for a Greenwich first down, and Marinelli going to turn the tempo up here with just under 2 minutes to play in the 3rd.
Hartley kicking it into overdrive there. Big bruising run, and then just threw it into another gear and pulled away.
Hartley is approaching 100 yards on the afternoon. This time they pull it, pass play there. Bavona had it in his hands as they wanted to connect with Morganti on the RPO.
Second down.
Good job by the safety, though, jumping into the window. He can't believe he dropped that one.
I was surprised. I was watching Gruden's quarterback camp on ESPN. He hates RPOs.
He's an old school kind of guy. Just get it out there, sling it. Spider through wide banana, man. Hitch route thrown to the left side. Too tall for Ferris.
Too short for the stick.
Minute 40.
Oh, we're saying A.J. Simonowski says it was tipped.
Third down.
A.J. Simonowski and Eric Gendrum behind us here, controlling the pictures that you all see.
Both of them could not think of anywhere else they would rather be than on a beautiful afternoon watching a football game. It's been a lot of fun today.
Guys are loving this.
So 3rd and 10 now for the Cardinals following 2 incompletions. Flushed out of the pocket is Langen. He's going to take off running. Hits it hard, but he's just going to come up short in the middle there, and we've got a Crusader player down.
Down by 12, Tyler Austin. Injured player on the field.
As the field goal unit appears like they'll be coming out. It's Tyler Austin who's down for the Crusaders. We'll step aside and be back after this with 1:39 to go right here on the HAN Network.
At Mex on Main, Trumbull's very own Mexican Grill, we're all about fresh, fast, and friendly service. Our Main Street restaurant offers the best in traditional and non-traditional Mexican dishes, with only the best ingredients, never frozen. From authentic burritos, fajitas, quesadillas, and salads, we have something on the menu for everyone in the family. And enjoy our open salsa bar, giving you more ways to customize your meal. Stop in for lunch or dinner at 6528 Main Street, Trumbull, or find out more at mexonmain.com.
1, 2, 3, Abby! You know! I want to find out how good I am. Yes, sir! If you relax, you get blown out. Let's get it done! Let's get it done!
What can you take advantage of right now?
Again, come on. I can push myself way beyond what you think.
Pressure technique. Bring it back.
Good to see Tyler Austin able to get up and go off the field under his own power. The field goal unit
was on, and now Justin Moore sprinted off. I think they had 12. So now they will go for it on 4th and 4 from the 7.
They got the big jumbo package with Hartley out there. Flags down. False start. They'll back it up.
Flag on the play.
Tom Brown instructing, saying one of the men had put their hand down to get set and moved from that position. And now Coach Marinelli is going to test out Moore's leg and see if he can connect from about 29 yards here.
It's a pressure situation for the kicker because it's a varsity game. It's a Saturday afternoon. But it's 36-13, so it's kind of immaterial. Let him get the game experience. Let him see how he can kick, get used to being called in.
Snap low, hold is good, kick is up, and it is good. So Moore hits his career long at 29 yards. 39-16 the score with just under a minute to play in the third quarter.
And now when they need him in a game that's 17-14, hey, you've hit this before, go do it.
And it is Moore's first year as the kicker for Greenwich. We saw him warming up in pregame. It was right around that range. He has a good, strong leg, working on the accuracy and consistency, and it's nice to see Marinelli give him that opportunity, and good to see him respond that way.
You're going to need him to hit a pressure kick. Give him the opportunities.
So 39-13. What has been a very, very long injury and penalty-riddled third quarter.
I should have marked what time of day this third quarter started, because it's been a while. Still got 12 minutes of football to go here on the HAN Network.
This is a great opportunity, though, for us to talk again. It is Emily Fedorko Day here at Cardinal Stadium. It started this morning with the 2 field hockey JV and varsity games against Danbury. They're dedicating today's game to Emily Fedorko, a Greenwich High School student who tragically lost her life in a tubing accident back on August 6th in 2014. All the proceeds and benefits from donations and merchandise at the tent today will go towards raising boating awareness here for teenagers.
And they've, like I said, they've already succeeded in changing laws.
Moore's kick, high end over end, fielded by Bavona at the 10. Starts to his right, cuts back left. Now trying to get all the way outside, where he's met by a sea of red and brought down at the 27-yard line.
Bavona ducked back, actually gave 3 yards back, trying to make something happen.
We've seen a lot of lose 3 to try and gain 1 rushes from the Crusaders today.
Unsuccessful try to gain 1. The East, I would say East-West right now, Trinity probably does have the edge.
I agree with that, and it doesn't count, and it's tough because we're going to look back at this game today, and Connor Langen threw 3 touchdown passes. He ran for 1. You had Iobi and Hartley who did so well, but as they're going to go play action again, crossing over the middle on that Usam route.
Threw it behind the receiver.
That was his tight end, Gerardo Gonzalez. Really, the heroes and most valuable players today for the Cardinals were the interior, just offensive and defensive linemen.
They took a stranglehold on this game early on, and you could see it in the first series, and just basically squeezed Trinity out of this game.
It was the first series of the day. The Cardinals sort of faltered on 4th down, coming up empty deep in Trinity territory. Trinity came back and had a similar series as well. After that, though, it has been all Greenwich, and they have looked very strong. It's coming up, laying a big hit there, trying to connect with Sverchek, but it was just a bit too far as Granada was under pressure from Daniel Esvikeli.
I know you're trying to make plays happen, but as you roll these quarterbacks, you're exposing them to hits.
That was a very good job by Esvikiel. I'll get that right before the end of the day, don't worry. Esvikiel pulling up, and he gives him a little bump versus he could have run through him, really blown him up, and we might have seen an ejection at this point in time.
But it was the sportsmanlike thing to do. You didn't need to lay him out at that point.
3rd and 10 Granada looking left, now comes over the middle. That one too tall as breaking open late
Granada's pass intended for John Patrizzi.
was John Patrizzi. It'll bring up 4th down, and the punt unit will have to come out for the Crusaders.
And a fake would be foolhardy here at 4th and 10.
Especially from your own 27. And Greenwich has shown no signs of letting up yet as the last few drives. They've been throwing the ball early on 1st and 2nd down.
And they've shown no signs of, if they score on you, not doing the onside kick.
Iobi, the lone returner. Alfano, 14 yards back, getting ready to kick this one, and a flag comes in.
I see some counting going on.
As we await the decision here, based on the fact that a Cardinal is jogging off.
There's a lot of traffic right by the line of scrimmage, like they might be coming after it.
They've shown pressure at points in time today. Everyone's standing up in that sprinter stance like they're going to go after it. To bring a little bit of pressure here.
A little bit.
End over end kicked. Iobi over his head. He'll see if he tries to field this. Wisely lets it roll out.
He thought about it.
And with 25 seconds to go.
12-yard line. Greenwich will take over from there.
The Cardinals will take over from their own 12-yard line. What will hopefully be the last play of the 3rd quarter to start this drive.
A set of lost car keys has been returned to the press box. If you are missing your Volvo car keys, you're not going to get very far. Come up to the press box.
Good to know Pontouf is listening.
Oh, man. This is
still the 3rd quarter.
Still the 3rd quarter. And
this might be the
This has been the longest 3rd quarter. As they hand to Hartley, and hopefully that will do it for the 3rd quarter.
It's only a day and a half left in this 3rd quarter.
We'll see if the Cardinals feel the need to run another play with 10 seconds left.
Both teams would hold 3 timeouts.
We saw 5 cramps, 5 penalties of play. Finally, the clock hits 0 here. It is 39-13 in favor of Greenwich from Cardinal Stadium on their home opener. They lead the Trinity Crusaders. We'll be right back on the HAN Network after this.
I really wanted something that felt like a home. Coming from a big house, I wanted the feel of a home as opposed to a condo. New Canaan is 6 minutes down the road. New Canaan's a beautiful little town to walk around. I work in Westport. My commute is 20 minutes. It's close to Westchester where my family is, so the location is ideal. There is no other townhome that compares in the area. This is where I want to be.
The leaves are changing, water temps dropping, and the sun is setting a little earlier each day. But there's still a lot of great boating, fishing, and coast time left before we see the first snow. And above all, remember, it's always summer at the Dock Shop. With loads of new fishing tackle and accessories, clothing, jewelry, and home decor, the Dock Shop is just what you need when you start to feel that New England autumn chill. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The Dock Shop, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, dockshop.com.
Welcome back to the HAN Network. The band playing Rockin' Robin 2 hours and 15 minutes later as we get set to start the 4th quarter. John, all jokes aside, it was a very dominant quarter for the Cardinals after what started with the big Trinity drive.
Trinity comes out in the opening minutes of the drive, shows you that they can play with Greenwich, that they can get back in it, and then Greenwich just says, not so fast.
Fake to Hartley as Langen keeps, steps around one man, and then met by a couple of Crusaders. Wrap him up and bring him down. Right around the 8-yard line, and it will bring up 3rd down and 15.
3rd and 15.
Langen avoids the rush. Now getting there. Almost lost the ball for a second. Did well to avoid the safety. It will bring up 4th down.
Safety would have probably been a good thing. The best thing for Trinity there would have been 2 points and a ball on a short field.
It would have been very close, and I thought that they would have awarded him forward progress, but he mishandled the ball in the end zone, which if the refs catch, would have nullified that forward progress, John.
Yeah, I probably would have leaned toward the safety there.
I mean, also thinking about the mishandling of the ball, they're lucky it wasn't a fumble that Trinity recovers either in the end zone.
I thought that's the way that play was going to end. Now Blizzard punting out of the very back of his end zone.
Standing about 8.5 yards deep, anticipate, and we've got a flag flying in late. It's a delay of game penalty, so he'll be punting it from 9 yards deep now. So this one will move up to the 2-yard line. Got to think Trinity's going to come after this one.
Does it behoove?
Have to be careful not to take a penalty.
Does it behoove Greenwich to take the safety?
Almost got it. They almost ran into him. It was off the side of his foot, too. Not quite a shankopotamus, but he won't be happy with that as Blizzard's kick stops right around the 27.
A little bit of breathing room, but not much.
So 10:03 to play. It's a 26-point Cardinals lead.
Again, next week we will be with you Saturday, our game of the week. You'll see these Greenwich Cardinals again at Darien to take on the Blue Wave live on the HAN network, HAN.network.
FCIAC tailgate will start an hour before kickoff. So that will be at 11:15 we will air FCIAC tailgate. It'll be re-aired at 12 o'clock. At 1 o'clock, we will go live with pregame. Excited you'll be back on the call again with me.
Like I said, I'm looking forward to it. It's been a while since I've done a tailgate.
And, you know, obviously Greenwich has proven that they are legit. They bounced back from a slow week one. But we get our first look at the defending FCIAC and state champion Darien Blue Wave. And the Wave have looked good through the first 2 weeks as they give inside to Pavona. Climbing the ladder, working towards the sideline. And he picks up about 4 on that one. It'll give him 3rd and 6.
He ladders it, but he takes a few extra steps laterally when he does. And it ends up being steps that get him really no extra yardage. A hard runner. I mean, I'm very impressed with him as a runner, and they've gone to him a number of times.
He's done very well. We didn't see a lot of him in that third quarter, especially after Malia had so much success on the first drive. 9:20 left to play. As they go to Malia again on 3rd and 6. He stopped at the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 4th down here.
So barring anything completely out of the ordinary, both teams next Saturday here on the HAN network will come in off big wins. Darien has already finished off Stamford 51-14, and Greenwich with a 39-13 lead over Trinity Catholic here as we get under 9 minutes to play in this fourth quarter.
Stay tuned with us throughout the week, though. We'll have boys soccer, girls field hockey, of course, Nutmeg Sports 4 days during the week now as the pass complete to Sverchek. It'll be enough for a first down. Good job by Granada to get that one out. John, don't forget also, we just announced we've got the fan vote going on to determine what game we will cover on Friday, September 30th. The options are Wilton at Ludlow, Stanford at McMahon, or St. Joe's at Danbury. 3 great games.
3 great games. I don't know that you can go wrong there. I think they are the 3 most competitive games, at least on paper, going into that weekend.
And they're teams that we haven't had on the schedule yet and are excited to get a look at whichever one they choose. Of course, this Monday on Nutmeg Sports, we will start Athlete of the Week. We'll have nominations ready as Alfano ran up the gut there and was met immediately in another player down for the Crusaders.
Those nominations coming from our sports editors who cover the FCIAC all over. The most sports editors that are out there in the field are at the HAN network.
It's very cool. We'll have nominations for male and female athletes. So a lot going on right now with the fall sports season getting into full swing. 8:10 to go. We'll step aside here quickly and be right back on the HAN network.
I'm a filthy rich executive. I hear the market's down 1,000,000 points. I freak out. I spill my large espresso. The searing pain makes me slam on the brakes. Uh-oh, your fault. And your cut rate insurance may not cover my $90,000 car, so I sue you, because that's what I do. So get Allstate. You can save money and be better protected from mayhem, like me.
Visit your local Allstate agent, Nick Montanero, at 6528 Main Street in Trumbull for a personalized quote.
Washington Prime, now open on Main Street in Georgetown. Come enjoy our relaxed setting, excellent service, award-winning nightly happy hours, and feast on our creative new American cuisine. Connecticut Magazine's winner for Best Steak, Washington Prime of Georgetown.
Remind you of the last time you went into a car dealership? Experience stress-free waters at Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram and find out how easy buying a car really is.
I really wanted something that felt like a home. Coming from a big house, I wanted the feel of a home as opposed to a condo. The construction is incredible, whether it's the floors, the fireplace, the moldings, the lighting. It's as peaceful as my home was in the middle of the woods. It feels like a house. It does not feel like a condo or a townhome. I feel like I'm in my house.
I'm Frank Granito.
And I'm Donald Ing for the HAN Network.
Tune in to Nutmeg Sports Monday through Thursday, where we bring you all the top stories from Connecticut sports.
From highlights to player interviews and expert analysis, no one gets you closer to Connecticut's games than Nutmeg Sports.
Nutmeg Sports, now Monday through Thursday at 2 p.m. on the HAN Network.
Welcome back to the HAN Network. Frank Granito and John Kovach on the call for what has been a Cardinals dominated second half here, but Trinity knocking on the door right now following a good defensive series, pinning Greenwich deep. And with an opportunity now to score and cut the lead to 19.
Congratulations on the expansion of Nutmeg Sports to 4 days a week. Really gives you a sports talk all 5 days a week, because you tend to do the FCIAC tailgate on Friday.
It's a lot of fun, too, and we were talking about what our plan is as Alfano fakes the jet sweep, keeps himself running to the left side, and the ball came loose. Looked originally like Trinity was able to come up with it. But the idea we want to have, John, is Monday is a football-dominant show. We'll have highlights, from all the games around the FCIAC, talking with maybe some of the coaches or players from our games of the week. Tuesday we come back and we'll focus on all the other sports from the past weekend, making sure we talk about everyone. Try to get our Athlete of the Week winners onto the air and get their opinion on what went right in the last week, what they've got coming up moving forward. We're also looking, Don and I were talking about maybe reaching out to some former FCIAC players who are in college and trying to get them to come on Wednesdays and talk about that experience as they connect here with Alfano heading to the corner. Excuse me, that's Sverchek, who's in for the Crusader touchdown, as Trinity refusing to go away quietly.
No, nice little pass there. Finds the corner. Gets a great block in the end zone from Mickey Riddle. Riddle never turns. He just makes himself wide, basically boxes out the defender.
That's a good job. Quick little waggle play off that. They get Sverchek with speed in the flat, and he's able to score from 13 out. 39-19. No matter what, a three-possession game, so they'll take the extra point. Low snap, able to get it up, diving to get there. Unsuccessful, and the kick is good by Brancato.
I think Trinity's got to think about the onsides here.
Trinity Catholic.
6:47 to go, trailing by 19. You have all 3 timeouts, but most likely an onside kick attempt coming.
Sideline today. Austin Longy taking advantage of his bye week.
Don and I, as well as the other sports editors who will join us on Wednesdays, very excited for 4 days of Nutmeg Sports. We hope to get as many of these great FCIAC athletes from all the sports and coaches on to the show to hear what they have to say, and it's been a blast so far. Iobi looks like he'll be the lone man to go back deep.
Yeah, look, Greenwich appears to be setting up a hands team. You've got 10 inside the first 10 yards here. They're looking for the onside kick. Trinity can only hope to execute it as perfectly as the last Greenwich onside kick.
One of the more shocking players on the hands team here. Standing right
I
in
know
the
where
middle,
this is going.
Standing right in the middle there for the Cardinals is Blake Guerrier. Senior offensive lineman, number 68. I am not saying he doesn't belong, but one of these things is not like the other.
No, you get a lineman with good hands. It tends to be a skill position, and I hate that term, filled team. But you get a lineman with good hands, and you put him in the middle there. You know they're going to try to come up the middle, let him block somebody.
And that's it, too. He doesn't necessarily have to field the ball.
No.
He's got capable hands, but if they try to roll that slow roller up, he's capable now to go blow someone up. As there's that quick line drive. Mishandled, kicked around, and then diving on it is Harris.
Bronchitis kick fallen on by Jeremiah Harris.
Greenwich will take over at the 35. Leading by 19 with 6:47 to play. And Trinity with all 3 of their timeouts realistically have to come up with a stop.
It's early
right
to
away.
use them. You've got to count on your defense to get the stop here.
It's early to use them, and you still have to stop Greenwich potentially 2 more times.
Oh, it's a tall task.
So I don't know that you need to use them this possession, but you really do want to force a 3 and out right now to give yourself somewhat of a chance. Give inside to Iobi. He's swallowed up right away in the heart of that defense.
Another cramp. 2 in the backfield. We haven't seen that look from Greenwich all that much today.
Not in a little while. Correct me, that was not Iobi as, down cramping one more time.
Injured player on the field.
It was Tyson Camizio and Hartley who were in the backfield there. And it is Bavona who has come up cramping on the far side. Figured it was only a matter of time. 6:26 to go. Has been a very quiet Cardinal Stadium here in the second half. There just hasn't been really any big plays that have developed or a lot of excitement with all the stoppages, John.
No, this game has really lost all its heat. It's kind of like we've been playing the string here for the better part of an hour, and there's not a lot of energy in the building here.
No, it's really been a very quiet and slow second half. Bavona able to make it off to the field. He'll get some more water into the body. Hopefully see him back soon. 2nd and 11 coming up. Camizio and Hartley in the backfield. Camizio working left, cut back right. Finally wrapped up and brought down.
Kept his feet.
There's Alfano hanging on for dear life there.
Camizio stopped in the backfield.
Is this a place to think about using the timeouts? When you've got 3rd and long now, you get to stop here, call the timeout before the punt? I don't know.
I don't think I would right now just because you've made it through 1st and 2nd down without using it. Save them for the next series because it's realistic that you're going to get this stop. Dropping back is Langen. Looks right. Flushed out of the pocket, trying to run to the left side now. Stops back. Did a very good job to stay in bounds there. And now, taking a timeout.
There's the timeout before the punt.
5:24 to go.
You know you're getting the ball. Don't let them burn any more time off the clock. Maximize your time of possession.
We saw Trinity bring a little bit of pressure on that last punt by the Cardinals. How aggressive do you get? Do you risk a roughing the kicker penalty?
Yeah, I don't know that I do, because you're going to get halfway decent field position here. You haven't seen any booming punts that have really flipped the field. You're going to get this probably with any kind of return somewhere between the 25 and the 40, I would say, coming out. I think you're okay just setting up a return.
And I like the idea of setting up the return, too. Blizzard has done well today. He hit that one off the side of his foot under pressure, but you do have the ability to set up the return. There'll be some hang time here. Sverchek, a very capable return man.
And they're setting one back about 6 yards behind the line. 8 yards behind the line. Kind of now he's creeping up. He's covering the receiver to the top. They are going to come with some pressure.
Coming with a lot here, actually, as coming on to Blizzard. That's a nice kick. Spiraling down towards Sverchek. Off his fingertips. Able to recover the muff.
Great coverage by Greenwich. Right there to force him to dive on that muff. But, you know, Trinity, you're not bad. You're starting field positions. The 36 coming out. You're okay.
With 5:15 to go, trailing by 19. It was a very good job by the Gunners there, being able to beat the Muggers downfield, forcing the issue on the fair catch.
Get there, set up, and establish your turf, and you're right there in his face. He's got to think about you.
And clearly had to thinking there was Sverchek, as he just came up a little short off the fingertips. Did well to recover the muff, but it's a funny thing, that football. It's not really a circle. You never know which way it's going to bounce.
No.
Play action fake.
Well blocked.
Granada stepping up, looking to his left, throwing down the field, and missing his target, Alfano.
Is that your house on the coverage?
Got spun a little bit of contact there. Not enough that they called.
House in coverage on the play.
Amazes me every week how many people look for the 5-yard pass interference call in high school ball.
Second and 10 now from the 37. Langen looks to his left. Excuse me, that's Granada. Now flushed out of the pocket, giving chase there. Finally gets it away. Like it's short hop Gonzalez. They'll agree that it did. Pressure was being applied by Calandro.
Yeah, we're burning daylight here. And they're limited on
the lights on.
They're limited on the use of the lights.
4:58 to go. What was a beautiful Saturday afternoon here at Cardinal Stadium. 39-20 right now in favor of Greenwich. Trinity trying to fight back here, trailing by 19. Third down and 10. Look left, jump ball down the right sideline, going up, unable to make the catch.
Granada's pass intended for
As
Gonzalez.
Granada was hoping for Gonzalez.
Isaac Floyd with the coverage. Incomplete.
It was Isaac Floyd in coverage there.
Close to an acrobatic catch.
And no pass interference call because Floyd did get his head back around to play the football.
No, well, perfect defense. Now it's all 4-down territory for Greenwich, or for Trinity Catholic right now.
And if you don't get this one, realistically, you're probably out of chances. Fourth and 10 from the 32-yard line. And Trinity is going to have to waste a timeout.
Trinity Catholic.
Leaves them with one.
They were one man short on the offense. Let's take a quick break here. We'll be right back with the fourth down play after this.
Do you do a lot of running around but get nowhere when you're buying a car? Visit Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram for the one-stop buying experience and stop spinning your wheels.
Give your day a jumpstart with the latest news, sports, weather, and more on Coffee Break, live on the HAN Network, weekdays at 11 a.m. Connecticut news doesn't get any more local than on Coffee Break.
We're back here on the HAN Network. Frank Renito and John Kovac approaching hour number 3 of this Saturday afternoon battle between the Greenwich Cardinals and the Trinity Catholic Crusaders. 4th and 10 for Trinity Catholic following the timeout. This is a must-have. Granada looks left, steps up in the pocket, escaping to his right, looking for help. He's got to throw one up. Couple of guys down there, and it is intercepted. Coming up with it was Harris. Nice play by the senior, so Greenwich takes over.
You had 3 receivers and 6 defenders in a very tight area.
Granada with no other option, though, as he was about to be run out of bounds, had to throw up the prayer. Not to sound like an old coach, but I would have liked to have seen Harris knock that ball down. You take over on the other side of the field, but beggars can't be choosers.
Sometimes it's just the lure of it. And you build the instinct of high pointing the ball and then tell them, okay, now it's real important. Don't catch it.
4:42 to go. The Cardinals now with an opportunity to kill most of, if not all of this clock to finish here. Inside, good job continuing to drive his feet. Camizio. Coach Patapana showing no signs of using that last time out.
Second down.
He may, now is not the time.
Hartley has come off the field. Looks like he might have had the wind knocked out of him.
Yeah, that's what it appears. I mean, he looks okay.
So Camizio, the lone back. The give to him, stepped left, cut right. Knifing through the middle inside.
79 foul.
So we are under 3:45 left to play in this one. Third down and about 7 now. Facing the Cardinals. Low snap. Good job by Lang to recover. Camizio inside.
Camizio back to the line of scrimmage.
No gain on the play, so 4th and 7 coming up. Wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Marinelli take a delay of game penalty here and send the punt unit out.
Yeah, burn your play clock, take the 5. It's not going to make any difference. It's going to keep the ball out of the end zone, if anything.
Or keep the offense on the field.
Yeah, there's that option, too.
Maybe try to draw them offside. That's the idea. He's got the referee standing nearby. Expect a timeout now.
Yeah, he's not calling a play. He's just trying to draw him.
So 2:40 to go. They use up the entire play clock, bringing the clock down as low as they can. They'll send the punt unit out next. John, we'll get early thoughts right now based on what you saw today. Does Greenwich match up with Darien, or are we still maybe a year away?
We'd like to welcome back Austin.
That is a tough question. Having not seen Darien yet. Now, Darien hung 51 on Stanford, and that was a bruising Stanford team that we saw last week. That's the number that jumps out at me.
And there was 48 last week against the St. Joe's team.
They're scoring the points, so, and has Greenwich dominated Trinity, or did Trinity just never get on track today?
What I really liked about Greenwich and what I think raises a little bit of hope was how well they played on the line.
Oh, yeah, if they can play on the line like they did early on, that's going to be a great matchup because Darien always has an impressive line. That's going to be a heavyweight fight.
It is, and I think that you will see a lot of run-oriented plays and different types of looks. I think we'll see the option next week off that two-back motion as Blizzards punt, rolling end over end. Alfano to field, making a fair catch at the 20-yard line with 2:34 to go. I think Johnny will be very, very crafty, but compared to last season when we saw these two teams play and Johnny was thinking throw.
I don't think you're going to see that.
No.
He doesn't have to.
He'll try to control the clock, be very deliberate.
And he's got two different paces. He can go to that bruising two-back package. He can go to the real fast stretch package that they've run. The middle zone, the mid-zone was there. He's got a lot of clubs in the bag to run the ball. Can they move Darien out of the way?
It'll be interesting to see how the secondary matches up. Brian Peters has looked so good for Darien to start the season as Granada throwing over to the right side, making a couple of men miss, and then finally running into a Cardinal was John Patrizzi. Secondary hasn't really been tested today. We saw Alfano with the one big play connecting on that post route. They're going to see a lot more passing, but Darien can also just run behind Stuber all day. Does Greenwich have someone who can match up with the big future Michigan commit?
I don't know that they do, and I don't know that forces them to. I'm surprised at the lack of passing today.
I think that we expected it to be this way from Trinity. Their hand was almost forced a little bit as they're going to go with the double move here. Good ball down the sideline. Patrizzi unable to get down there and make the catch with a minute 55 to go. I'll bring up third down. It should be a really good game. And I'd like to believe that Greenwich is ready to hang with Darien and the big boys. But I feel like my brain is telling me pick Darien by 17.
Darien's been there before. They've got more guys who have been there before. Greenwich is trying to get back, and they will get there.
And
I don't know that next week's when they get there. Let's find out.
They are definitely on the way to getting there. I think if it's not sometime this year or in the next couple of weeks, there are very, very high hopes for next season as that fourth down pass incomplete. Excuse me, that was third down. Fourth down coming now. Looks like we're going to see the punt unit. But this was an impressive win for the Cardinals today. And they did it in all the right ways.
I really, like, if I had a nomination for Athlete of the Week, I would probably put the Greenwich offensive line in there.
I think that they are well deserving of that title. Connor Langen, most likely going to be the one in the spotlight, but that's what you sign up for when you play the line.
And that's going to be problematic.
Now, an interesting fact here.
For safety, 2 points for the Cardinals.
You are actually not allowed to kick the football out of play. Because you're in the end zone, it's automatically a safety. Had he been on the 1 yard line, Greenwich gets possession on the one.
Mm-hmm.
It is not a safety. As we are clearly running out of things to talk about.
We certainly are.
So add on the safety on the poor snap. 41-20 the score. Greenwich will take over following the safety kick from the 20. You can onside kick a safety, though.
Yes, you can.
So something to be on the lookout for.
I don't know why you wouldn't here.
What do you have to lose?
Got to practice it at some. Again, at some point, you may have to do all these things.
Minute 44 to play.
Current score of the game, Greenwich 41.
Arguably the best win of the Johnny Marinelli era here.
Yeah, I think you could say that. And I think it's going to be a big one for them going out. I think they're definitely going to look to build off it. I think based on what they said in the interview with Ben McPadden in pregame, Greenwich thinks they're turning a corner, and they're showing a lot of people that right now.
And let's go back to having Ben McFadden on today. What a special treat. We want to thank Make-A-Wish Connecticut for partnering up with us and making that possible. He is a future Wish kid. He'll be going to see the Seattle Seahawks sometime in the future. He loves football. It was a blast having him out there. And just, we can't say it enough. He shows up, the index cards prepared with great questions.
Ready to go. And he's not asking, he's asking tougher questions than some of these network sideline reporters ask. And he goes right to, how do you feel about your coach with the coach standing there?
Puts Mike Cece right on the spot and asks what he thinks of new coach Johnny Marinelli and his systems right after Johnny had given little Ben two helmet decal stickers. Oh,
hey, you got the stickers. You may as well ask now.
Oh, the 12-year-old was such a blast to have around. He came on in pregame, made some picks. We had him on at halftime. It was such a special day for us, as much for him. Got to see the HNRV. Yeah, what a blast.
We love to do it. We love to have kids around, and it was so much fun to have him here.
It really was, and I can't express enough how great that was. Again, we've got the fan vote going on right now. The voting for that will close this week, so make sure you get your vote in for what game we will cover on the night of September 30th. It's Hartley back in the game. Taking the handoff, breaking through a couple tackles here with 1:10 to go. Again, those options are Stanford at McMahon, St. Joe's at Danbury, and Wilton at Ludlow. I've been told if we do Wilton at Ludlow, we will be able to mic John Kovac up for the night.
That's up for discussion right now. We shall see. We shall see.
So we are under 45 seconds to go.
With my responsibility on the sideline, it's not that interesting to listen to me on the sideline.
We could throw the GoPro on you like we did for me in 7-on-7.
Basically me confirming a formation.
Samizio inside, wrapped up and brought down for what should be the final play of this one as Coach Marinelli makes his way over to find Coach Patapano. Final score in this one is going to be 41-20. As the Cardinals with the big win this afternoon. We talked about the lines and how great they were on both sides of the ball, but Connor Langen most likely going to be earning himself an Athlete of the Week nomination with today's performance.
No, definitely. Great performance by him. The lines. Greenwich showed it has two running backs that can work it.
And really, three if you include Samizio there.
Yes.
With the blocking late. It was tough for Trinity falling behind 14-0, but then penalties and cramps really proved to be too much for them to overcome here.
What I like is that things did calm down. The game was really at a point where it could have boiled over, and things have calmed down. You're seeing that now in the handshake line.
Trinity will fall to 0-2 on the year. Greenwich to 2-0. We will have Greenwich at Darien next week. That game at 1:30. FCIAC tailgate will kick off at 11:15. John will be back to the call. I had a blast. Always love watching you guys.
Can't wait for next week, but I'm around for tailgate.